was a comment that was made on Facebook the other day about being a submissive woman. They were saying that a submissive woman controls her man, and I agree with that. I think until we begin to talk in honesty and transparency and stop pandering to both sides, especially to the sisters, because there is so much entitlement, and because men have been quiet for so long, and it's been the men that has been quiet were the type of men that y'all really need to be listening to. The men that doing the most talking ain't the ones, they don't have nothing to say anyway.
What's good? It's your boy Quay Price, man, holding it down for Kandid Konvos. Definitely check us out every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. People today, they lazy. Ain't nobody trying to put in no work. If stuff start getting a little rough in the relationship or in the marriage, ain't nobody trying to fix nothing. Like, I mean, that's how people's mindsets are today. Yeah, but that's how I know that folks don't truly understand what marriage was about, because they tap out way too easy. Yeah, you see people fight harder for a job, like they can't go get another one of them in 2 weeks. Yeah, she's talking about these guys coming to these foreign countries and sourcing out these foreign women because they possess these character traits. Yep, they're more cooperative when it comes to a man, or they're more cooperative when it comes to a marriage and a relationship. They're more, nurturing forward when it comes to a relationship. They're more I don't even want to use the word soft, but I'll use the word soft. They're softer when it comes to, these relationships and interactions with men and so forth. And like I said, we definitely got to be honest. We see a difference, right? We see a difference. And I think, Chloe and Tay made some good points earlier. A lot of this stuff is based around money over here in the West. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Kandid Konvos. I'm your host, Quay Price. We got Coco on deck. We got Herschel on deck. Say what's up to the people, y'all.
Hey, everybody.
Hey. What's going on? Appreciate y'all hopping on the panel with me tonight. Let's just shout out to everybody in the comments. Do me a favor, if you haven't already, smash that like button. Likes are free. Smash that like button for us. Also hit that share. Let's say we want to get this content out to as many of our people as possible so that we can move us in a better direction and improve our situation. Let me do this as well. I think that's JR hopping on. All right, we got you, JR. Give me a self-adjuster real quick. All right, cool. Hold on. I done threw myself off. See what I'm saying? Threw myself off. Let me do this real quick while I'm thinking about it. Here's the link to join us on the panel. You can drop this in your Google Chrome, your Microsoft Edge. If you're coming through an Apple device, you got to use Safari. But yeah, drop this in your browser. Join us on the panel. You do have to come on cam so we can verify that it is you. So just remember that. Let's say we got a couple folks out here playing games, so we got to make sure it's you before we let you up on the panel. But yeah, in addition to the video feed here, this link is in all of the chat feeds. So you can catch it at the Kandid Konvos page on YouTube or Facebook, or you can send us a message. We'll send it to you that way as well. I'll lead us up here for a little bit as we get into the conversation. All right, let me do one more thing while I am thinking about it. Give me 1 sec, y'all. I'm going to see if I can... let's see. Let's try it this way. All right, cool. So right here, we're launching a new page. It's called Kandid Reactions. So definitely go check out that page on YouTube, Kandid Reactions. You can drop at Kandid Reactions in the search bar. And yeah, hit that, check that page out. Let's throw a subscribe on it. You know, so we appreciate all the support. All the assistance, like I said, as we try to grow our platforms and let's just spread the message out. So definitely go check that out. Kandid Reactions, and that's on YouTube. At Kandid Reactions on YouTube. All right. So let me pull us back. Y'all got me working all type of stuff tonight. Hold on. All right, cool. All right, let me see who we got checking in early tonight. Let's see. We got Donovan in the building. He said, "What up, though, fam? What's going on, Donovan? Appreciate you checking in with us tonight, brother." Kenyatta in the building. She said, "Happy Wednesday." Kenyatta, appreciate you joining us as well. Always holding us down. Definitely appreciate the support. All right, cool. So I think we got everything in order. Housekeeping out the way. Let's see. Vince in the building. He said, "Hey, fam. What's going on, Vince? Appreciate you checking in tonight with us, brother. Appreciate you." All right, I think we got all the housekeeping out the way. You know what? I'm gonna do something real quick. Hold on 1 sec, man. I got too much going on. I'm not sure. Give me 1 sec. All right, let me drop this link down for a minute. Let us know if y'all need the link. And all type of stuff acting weird tonight. All right, cool. So let me do this real quick before we get into this conversation. So I see we got Herschel up on the panel with us tonight. Herschel. I'm about to come in and check in with you. Yeah, there you go. Shout out to our Mr. Research that's hopping on as well. Herschel, man, I'm about to come straight to you about something, man.
I think
I noticed something.
I think I already know what you're about to talk about.
You know what I'm about to talk about, man. So what maybe I'll hold that thought for a minute. Hold that thought. I'm gonna come back to that. We're gonna have that conversation too. All right. I observed that. So yeah, hold that thought. We're gonna come back to that. All right, let me get it started. So there's a lot going on tonight. Let me get it started. So yeah, topic for tonight. Black people make too many excuses. Let me run that back. Topic for tonight. Black people make too many excuses. All right, so we got a whole bunch of videos came in around this topic. I'm just gonna kick off the first one. Let's see who's checking in. Who is that? It's Eva Wright. She said, "Hey y'all, what's going on, Eva Wright? Appreciate you joining us tonight, holding us down tonight. Appreciate you." All right, so we're gonna get right on into it. A lot of videos came in around this topic, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go to tonight.
I got my husband when I stopped listening to these single men and they bullshit because I did 50-50. 50-50 didn't get me no ring. I did that. Let's just see how this goes and all this other bullshit. That didn't get me no ring. I did that. I'm going to cook for you and I'm going to pay for the food and I'm going to deliver it to you. That shit ain't get me no ring. Me in the thought process of let me prove to this man that I'm supposed to be his wife mentally, physically, sexually, financially, all that shit. I done did threesomes and everything and help people pay for shit. I've done all of that. None of that shit got me a ring. When I stopped giving in to these male fantasies and these male delusions about a woman, that's when I found my husband and my husband found me. I didn't have to do nothing extra. He didn't have to do nothing extra. He was just him. Him being him, living his life and going through life the way he was, I loved it. Me being me, living life the way I live life, my mindset, he was like, I like that. When I dated my husband, my thought process was, this man gonna have to prove to me that he is who he say he is. Because I know I got the money. I know I got the sex that he wants. I know I got all this shit. I got the good background, the mama and the daddy. I have a mom and a dad that if we needed financial help, my parents would be like, here, no problem. When I stopped listening to the single men, that's when I got a husband. And that's why I'm married now. Y'all stop listening to them. Please stop listening to them. You're going to be single forever. I got my...
All right. Topic for tonight. Black people make too many excuses. All right. Let me, we got some more folks checking in. Shout out to Tiffany Weaver in the building. She said, hey, y'all, what's going on, Tiffany? Appreciate you joining us tonight, holding us down. See, Donovan said, let's see, she was doing the right thing for the wrong one. She didn't vet her potentials and possibles. Okay.
That's
Appreciate
it.
that right there. Appreciate that right there.
That's it.
All right. So, yeah, drop a comment. Let me know what y'all thought about video number 1. So I'm coming to the panel. Coco, Herschel, Beatboxer, JR. What y'all think? What y'all hear? Coco, I see you off. Go ahead.
I mean, I agree with Donovan. That's the first thing I thought when I saw the video is you were doing all the right things, quote unquote, but for the wrong people. You know, like you needed to check your vetting, like your, you know, the men that you were allowing into your space were not the right ones for you. But you were willing to do all of these things, I don't know, out of insecurity. I don't know if out of lack of confidence. I don't know if it was out of desperation. I'm not sure why you were willing to be all these things for all these men, but you were doing it and they weren't the right ones. They probably were the ones that you wanted instead of the ones that wanted you. That's probably what it was. Usually, at least from what I've seen out here from women who are complaining about certain types of men, it's because they're dating the types of men that they want. They're dating the types of men that they desire. They're not dating the men that actually want them back. They're not dating the men that actually are truly interested in them, right? So then they're getting those results, and now we're blaming it on single men. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of these single men out here with these microphones, you can't listen to everything that is said. You really can't, especially if that person, that individual does not have a track record, does not have any experience, does not have proven results. Like, what are they talking about? Like, what are they saying? Where are they getting this information from? If not experience, then I agree. But, however, I guess I just wish that when we have these conversations, I wish we would have these conversations after we've done a self-analysis. You know, after we've looked at ourselves first, before we go blame it on single men, single women, dating pool, whatever your reasons are. Have you looked at yourself first? I would almost ask her if I could, what's different about this guy? What's different about him? Because something is different about him. It's not just that he was just himself and you were just yourself. And what's different about this guy? Because I guarantee you that, yeah, she ended up with the guy that she needed, not the one she wanted.
Okay. No, that's real right there. Beatboxer, JR, Herschel, Mr. Research. I want to say anything on this, or y'all good right now?
I'll go last.
Good right now? Okay. Anybody else? Go ahead, Herschel.
Yeah, I just feel that don't start something that you can't finish or you can't keep up. So a lot, like what she said, she just started being herself. That's pretty much it. You just gotta just in any type of thing you enter in. Of course, you got to, for certain positions, like, at work, in the workplace, you got to perform a certain way and do certain things, conduct yourself a certain way. But you still have to maintain your genuine self of who you are, like, so your things you believe in, your personality, those type of things. You try to pretend to be a certain way, you try to do extra, do too much, eventually it's gonna come off as counterfeit. Eventually, the real you is gonna come out, and that person may not like that, or it just might not be a good fit. So it's best to just from the jump, just be who you are, and then, then they'll see you, take you for what you are. And then, but again, like, I think, like, kind of what Chloe was saying too, like, I mean, they probably it was just the right person for her. They just meshed well, and and she just got the right one. People in the past probably just weren't it for her. But yeah, my thing I took from that is just be genuine, just be yourself.
Right. No, that's real right there. Let me get these comments real fast, and I'm gonna come back to the panel. Let's see. I got that one. Let's see. Tiffany Weaver said, I agreed. She definitely was doing too much for the wrong dudes. Yeah, no, I appreciate that comment right there, Tiffany. Donovan said, Coco, the new guy gave her some security to rest in. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. So he definitely could have brought that security that, allowed her to kind of calm that down a little bit. All right, let me come over to Mr. Research. Mr. Research, you want to say something real quick, man?
Yeah, so in regards to her, what's unfortunate is, like Coco pointed out, the blame thing. It should be about you, what you realize, you. But when you start wagging fingers in other directions, from a psychology standpoint, I don't know whether you really learned. You know what I'm saying? Because you're moving the goalposts in order to make a speech to the masses. Let's really talk about what you came across with. So let me give you another part of this game. So respectfully, I'm glad she got with who she got with. But guess what? It's like I said on many of y'all podcasts. The women know where the boring librarian is at. She know where the dentist is at. She know where the rocking chair life is at. It's just that certain parts of her body don't want that boring lifestyle. Don't want that man who has to wake up at 6 a.m. to open the store or has to do payroll for his employee. So this lady in this example, she said XYZ, but let's wake this last point up, and I'll pass the mic. What type of gentleman is that? Is that a Band-Aid gentleman? What type of gentleman is he? Is he a gentleman who really feeds into the control aspects that she wants? Not saying that she's a bad person, but let's really wake it up. Some people, males included, will sit up in here and say, it's them, and now I'm with my person. But is that really your person or your person for right now? Because once again, if it was really about, hey, listen to my advice, C-Lay became a very good person the moment he found patience. I became a romantic person the moment I romanced myself first. I land.
Appreciate that right there. Appreciate that comment, Mr. Research. Let me say this, because I said this is an interesting video. I said we got a lot of them down here, so we'll keep going in a minute. But this is an interesting video for a couple reasons, right? And this is something that I see a lot. And for me, just watching this video, this is another example of somebody making excuses. Yes, like we talking about, the young lady is saying that, she used to listen to these single guys, and listen, we've had discussions around that, but she used to listen to these single guys and these things that they said that they wanted, and she tried all of these different things, and none of those things secured her a marriage. And for me, just hearing her say that, it's another excuse. Yeah, but at the end of the day, the only thing that is going to secure you a marriage is, first of all, you making some changes. Yeah, that's the first thing. Yeah, you got to make some changes. And I just noticed that today, We have 1,000,001 excuses on why we can't make some changes to better ourselves, our situation. If it be your physical appearance, if it be your financial situation, if it be your investments, getting yourself out of debt. You know, if the guys are saying that they're looking for this, it's like, nah, I can't. It's just 1,000,001 excuses on why we can't make the necessary changes we need to make to get to where we want to get. Yeah, but it doesn't seem that difficult, but it's like we make it difficult. Yeah, we will go all around the topic. We'll go way over here, way over there. And it's like, hey, the fellas are saying they're looking for a nice young lady who respects them, who knows how to take care of a home and nurture and this and that. And it's like, we'll go all the way around just to not do what these guys are saying that they're looking for in a wife. Yeah, it makes no sense. Yeah, but it has nothing to do with you listening to no single dudes. Now, I'm not saying you listening to the right single dudes, but it has nothing to do with that. Yeah, but it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you trying to conform or however you want to present it. It's at the end of the day, it's you making improvements to yourself that you needed to make anyway. Yeah, but if we're going to be honest. But yeah, it just always comes off like all of these excuses. And it's like, I just don't understand how we expect to even get to where we want to get if we always going to lead with these excuses. Yeah, it's not everybody else's fault. Yeah, it's not all the dudes you're interacting with the reason why nobody wanted to marry you. Like, it's not that. We got to be realistic. Yeah, at some point we got to be adults and we got to look inward first. And that's the piece we never do. We want to look at everybody else and everything else, but we never want to look at us first. Yeah, and that's typically where the problem is. So yeah, for me, it's more excuses. Let me get some of these comments. I'm gonna come back to the panel. Donovan said, Mr. Research, she settled for a simp. Well, I said, my man, he might have some simp in him. I don't know. I don't know him personally, but he might, appreciate the comment. See, Donovan said, let's see, she started out submissive. Let's see, doubt she submits anymore moving forward. Man, don't do it, Donovan. Don't do it. Don't do it, man. Let's see, Donovan said, excuses are the band-aids for no cooperation, no accountability. Facts. Yeah, facts. We will come up with all type of stuff because I done heard some stuff. We got another video, but we're gonna get to that in a minute. See, Donovan also said, let's see, she said she was listening to single dudes. No, she was listening to her single girlfriends. That too.
Right. You notice she ain't say nothing about the women. I was like, girl, you skip right past that, huh?
Yeah. No. Let me say this, JR. I'm not sure what's going on. You might have to drop and come back in, JR. I see it's showing you is disconnected right now. So yeah, drop and come back in to us, JR. All right, cool. Anybody else on the panel? Anything else y'all want to add, or y'all good? Before we move on to the next. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. We got a lineup. Oh, hold on. Eva Wright dropped the question. She said, my question is, why listen to marriage advice from anyone single? Eva Wright, that's a great question. Yeah, that is a great question. And I said, we've talked about that before. You got that, Coco? We've talked about that before, where people are taking advice, from these folks that's single. And this is the thing. I think that folks that are single can add value to any conversation. So I don't deny that. I don't feel like because somebody is single, they can't speak on marriage. Somebody may be single because they were previously divorced. And now they can tell you, what not to do or what to look out for. Or, they can give you some value add, right? So I'm not opposed to somebody single giving advice or giving input in the conversation around relationships and getting married. But at the same time, there still has to be a level of discernment. You still have to consider who you're listening to. Do you respect them? Have you seen them in action? Do they got receipts? And sometimes I know people will throw that out the door. If the dude, we've seen enough evidence of the Derek Jacksons and all the other stuff that goes on out here. Like, so So the discernment goes out the door. So you definitely have to understand who you are listening to, and who you're taking the advice to. But overall, I think, especially for folks who are looking to get married, you definitely should not look past somebody who's already married to get that advice. Yeah, someone who's been married for some years and they done been in there and did that, been there and done that, and living it. That's definitely somebody who can give you some valued advice towards marriage. So, that's just my position on it. I see. Shout out to my guy Joe in the building. He said, "All I noticed, she got big lips. I like that." Joe, come on, man. Wait a minute.
Jesus.
wait.
Oh my God.
Already in the trap.
Oh man, Joe said he saw it. Let me keep going.
Hey, do you mind if I say
right.
quick?
Go ahead, Herschel. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say to that question. So, like me, I am a licensed professional counselor who's trained. I provide marital therapy, marriage therapy, family couples therapy. I've been doing it for close to 20 years. So I'm single too, but I can provide a lot of knowledge and a lot of insight, a lot of interventions, but what helped me too is because I've been there before too. I've been married, I've been divorced, I've been through the whole process of separation, courting, engagement. I had the whole wedding ceremony, all that. So, so that helps me as far as, like you said, with discernment, as far as who you can trust, as far as with the information or the insight or the advice. So, and it's not everybody that has that situation, but there are some single people that can provide that type of, insight. Just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, no doubt. No, I understand that, man. Let's see. Eva Wright said, let's see. I doubt that's where she took the advice from. Okay. Let's see. Donovan said, let's see. Vicariousness can be misleading more times than not. No, definitely can. Let's see. Eva Wright said, I meant always have been single, not those that can speak to it. Oh, yeah. Okay, I got you, Eva Wright. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah, somebody who's just serial single, that may not always be the best the best person for input on that. But I understand what you're saying now. Go ahead, Mr. Research.
Well, 10-second reply. It's also, even if you don't go the professional route, as the brother suggested, what happened to the African ways of going to your elder married women? What happened to the Indian ways of going to your elder coupled women? It's disingenuous, the video, men, these men. And like Coco pointed out, what happened to the women in your circle? What happened to the elder statesmen ladies in your circle? We always capping because we want to, keep this 1990 gender war going on. If you really want love, it is difficult, but you have to go where those loving situations are. And who better than a woman sitting on a decade plus years? But you don't want to hear some of the things she might have to say.
True. So I think that's part of the problem right there, Mr. Research. So, we have folks that are around us that can give us that input, right? But at the same time, those folks may also give you the side that you don't want to hear. Yeah, they may call you out on some of your nonsense. They may call you out on how you've been moving. They may call you out on your taste in men and women. Yeah, see, a lot of folks today in 2025, they don't want to hear that. Yep, they don't want to hear that, to where they have to now hold themselves accountable based off that information and make changes. Yep, and that's why tonight we're talking about excuses. Yep, I said that'll be one of those situations where then they'll come up with a whole bunch of excuses just because they didn't want to hear it from the get-go. They'll come up with all these excuses why they want to continue doing what they're doing that hasn't been working, that hasn't been yielding them results, and they just want to continue down that road because they feel like that's the path of least resistance. Yeah, but it's also the path that's not going to get you nowhere. So yeah, we in some different times, some interesting times. But I think eventually, as we continue to have these conversations, man, and influence some folks, we can eventually get there. Let's see. Donovan dropped the comment. He said, "Elders' advice." Let's see, this new generation that's come out the womb thinking they know it all. Yeah, they can't tell them nothing, man. That's where they know. Donovan also said insanity. Yeah, no, that's facts. Definitely insanity. All right, let me go to the next one because I said I got a lot of them down here.
Dating outside my race, but I was dating outside of my race because they were doing things better than my race. I'm gonna keep it 100. My Spanish, better. Well, not better because I know where she getting ready to go. Not better.
I know you said they were doing things better. I wanted to know what better meant.
Not better. I'm gonna change that.
I'm trying to save you for the
I know you
people,
is. That's
for the
what I'm saying.
culture.
Not better for the culture.
There we go.
Right, not better. I was dating Puerto Rican, I was dating Dominican, I was dating African, I was dating all type of other really size American black, right? They were doing way more of what we expect we want our woman to do more than our American. Our American got real comfortable with.
Give me some examples.
Oh man, I mean, their mannerisms are different. Like even my Indian one was from one of them countries over there, right? I didn't have to really say much to do and be treated like a king. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times with our own American black, they expect so much of us and what we're supposed to do. Like things like, if we go out and eat and we just have a nice dinner, we can go anywhere and eat and get a nice dinner. It had to be Rue Chris, or it had to be this, that, or it had to be this, that. Then I get somebody that's just as fine, a Cuban or a Colombian. They don't care about nothing. They care about you and your household. Even though they still care about the money, but it's not about the money. You understand what I'm trying to say? It's a difference. Not better, but sometimes we get tired of hearing, Birkin bags and sushi.
Do you think that's fair? Because I feel like there's a certain type of woman that does demand that. And to me, I think it depends on the bait you're using and where you're looking. If you're going to go get a model from Instagram that got the BBL, the snatched in stomach, and has all the things that check off money hungry and surface, you're going to get that. If you're going to meet a girl and through different ways and ask different questions, you're going to find that out a lot earlier on, that what's important to her.
I'm not doubting that, but I'm just talking about even if you look on just a regular dating app and just look at what a woman may state that she requires, you know, and I'm saying these things because it feels as if social media again is the barometer. Okay, and it's the comparison, and when you're comparing yourself to all these other women, and of course, even with the BBLs, because I'm like, that's fine, but I mean,
what's BBL? I'm sorry.
Brazilian butt lift.
Oh, okay.
And there's no shade to women that have them. I'm just saying.
I was wondering, I was waiting for it too. I'm like, excuse me?
And there's no shade to everyone that has them. I'm just saying, if you're going by just surface things and that's who you're going afterwards, then guess what? She gonna run that pocket.
Get mad at me for dating outside my race.
All right, yeah. Did y'all hear the rest of that? Did that all come through?
Yep, I
seen
it before.
Okay, yeah, my sister was over here doing something. All right, cool. Let me get this comment. Let's see. Shout out to my guy Clifton Steve. Man, Clifton Stevenson in the building. That's my guy right here. He said it sounds like he's lying.
About what?
I don't know. He says, let me keep going. Let's see. Clifton also said he doesn't have any specifics, just a regular purse chasing and dinner hopping excuses. Huh. Okay. All right, cool. So, man,
is it true though, Clifton? I mean, are the ladies out here doing that though? Are they dinner hopping and purse, chasing? Are they doing that though?
Yes, they are. Yes.
I mean, two things can be true.
I'm not Clifton.
Two things can be true at one time, right? He could be fabricating a little bit. I don't know. He could be. But that doesn't mean there aren't plenty of women out here that are purse chasing. And, they doing it.
He said they are. He said yes, they are. 100. Yeah, he said they are. Okay. So let me present this question. Let's say so tonight we talking about black folks making too many excuses, right? So yeah, this video is going viral right now. It came my way, so I'm like, yeah, we're gonna touch it. So let me ask this question, and I'm gonna put it just like this. I know we got some serious fellas on the panel right now. I'm looking at Joe, I'm looking at Mr. Research, and I'm looking at Beatboxer. So I'm about to present this question.
I think it's best I sit this one out.
Just hold on, Joe. Just hold on. I'm about to present this question right here. So my question tonight, since we talking excuses. So the brother said that these other women are better. That's how he presented it. So my question to the fellas, and anybody in the comments, drop a comment. The brothers that are saying that these foreign women in these other countries are better than these Black American women, is that true, or is it just an excuse?
True. He said what he said. He meant what he said. He was trying to double down, back down. He got scared, tucked his tail between his legs. What he said was true. It was true. He was just trying to soften the blow, but it already came out of his mouth. Oh, well, I mean, see, that's that fear that he had of actually telling his experience and telling the truth from his perspective. Being in front of Black women, it's a trauma thing. So he wasn't even confident enough to be and say what he really want to say, whether or not you agree with him or not. But that's actually part. He wasn't even conscious of it. It was that fear. Like, do I dare talk about the differences? Do I compare and contrast at the expense of offending someone, particularly a group of people, right? A large group of people. He wasn't wrong. So when he said better, I mean, I understand what he means by that. We're not talking about like, we're just better in all the ways he said and the things that was Clifton said. He didn't get no specifics. Some things it's hard to describe. It's like an intangible thing. You're in their presence, they're around you. It's a feeling that you get. It's like you just feel more masculine around them. They're much more feminine. You don't have to fight with them. You have to make them do anything and make them be in their. It's just like that is there. You can't really describe it so much. It's like this feels right, but I don't really know how to say what that is. You just kind of just in it. So when women hear, "Oh, better," what do you mean? Give me specific or details. It's like, oh, well, okay, line by line. Well, this is this thing. They do this. For example, the young lady in my picture, that's just one. That's not normal what she was doing. So but it's customary for her to treat men well. Just in general, they have a general respect for men in their culture. Just where I was at, and that's across the board. Obviously, it's not all, but I talked to a lot of women there. I've been around a lot of them, and that's just like they'll pull out the chair for you, for example, open the door for you. Let me get that for you. It's like, well, I thought you drop something on the floor, or let me go get your food. Let me order something for you. Or what did you say? Okay, I'll take care of it. She'll pay. I'm supposed to be paying her for the service. She's paying for my food, for my travel expenses, going the extra mile. When if you pay for the same services here to some extent, they're going to do the bare minimum. They're not going to be as attentive. It's going to be like quid pro quo. I give you this, you give me X amount. Your money is the extent to their niceness and kindness to some extent. Whereas there, it's kind of like, yeah, we need money, but we love and respect men in general. So that's the feeling, the general feeling you get.
But Joe, this is the reason I'm asking this question. I said because tonight we're talking excuses, right? So some folks are gonna make the argument that even the brother in the video. Listen, I can't think of his name right now, but I know he did the Notorious B.I.G. Yeah, he did that portrayal, right? But the reason I asked the question is because some folks are gonna make the argument. The brothers that say,
oh wait, that was him.
Yeah, that was
that
him.
Guy. Oh, I know. I recognize.
That was him.
I was like, he looked familiar.
No, that was him. But yeah, some folks are gonna make the argument that when brothers say things like this, like these other women are better than American Black women, they're saying that because essentially they can't cut it or they can't hack it with the American Black women.
Oh, is that what you think?
No, it's not. It's not what I think. I'm just talking about the conversation. Yeah, that's the conversations that I see, and they're saying that brothers are saying that and essentially running overseas because they can't hack it or they not that guy here in the U.S. with the American Black women. So is it just an excuse, or are those women actually quote unquote better, you know, per what my man was saying in the video? So I see Mr. Research, he itching too. I see JR itching. Everybody itching.
They can rock if they want to. I mean,
come on up. Wait, hold on. I got Coco too. Coco, you want to go ahead?
No, I think B-Boxer has been waiting patiently.
Oh, it's B-Boxer? My bad. All right, B-Box, I'm going to let you rock first, man. I'm going to come to JR and Mr. Research. Go ahead, B-Box.
Mr. Price, you trying to set off a couple nuclear bombs? What are you trying to do, man?
What you mean, man?
So here's the thing. I know Joe. I think you're in Brazil, right, Joe? And JR, I think you're dating a white woman.
I was.
Oh, it was? Okay. All right. And I am married to a white woman. So it's like there's got 3 of us on the panel.
Wow.
Look, I'll say this. I really do, as where I live is very, very diverse. I've mentioned that before, and I've dealt with different types of women, and also I've traveled as well. My dad was in the military, so we actually lived out in Spain, Germany, other places. I have to say this. I agree with the dude 100%. Now let me be clear. Not every single experience is bad, and the word better is not the best term to say, but yeah, a lot of women who are not American Black will go out of their way. This is just my personal experience, to be really nice to you, to do things that you want. Hell, my wife paid for the date, our first date, right? I was like, oh, she's gonna be my wife. I joked about it, but it happened, right? But stuff like that happened because she was very nice to me. It just seems, and this is not all the time in every single case, that it's either, it could be sometimes a take it for granted thing, where we both are similar, so we both, sometimes it's like, well, there's a struggle, right? We're in this common struggle, and because of that, you're supposed to like accept flaws that you wouldn't normally accept from like other people. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing. For example, I'm not a fan of this guy, but Kevin Samuels had a lady on who was overweight, right? And he was more or less asking like, hey, don't you think you should lose weight for your man? For a Black man? She said no. And he said, well, would you do that for any other race of man? And she said, well, yeah. And more or less, she was more or less saying like, so you think you can do less for a Black man than anybody else? And she was like, yeah. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. I'm not saying in all aspects, but that comes off a lot. It's an issue. And for younger guys like me or JR, we see it and we're like, I'm not doing all that. I'm not gonna like, you're either gonna kind of do what I want, or I'm just not going to deal with it. So it's not really an excuse. It's like let the best woman win, and the best women unfortunately are kind of winning. So you got to compete, and a lot of Black women don't want to compete. That's just the nuts and bolts of it. So
okay, I appreciate that, B-Boxer. Let me do something real quick, man. We got a special guest on Hop the Phone.
Welcome back, Prince.
C Prince in the building. C Prince in the building. Long time. How you doing, man?
Fine. How y'all doing? I had this. I'm like, oh, y'all really talking about this? Y'all lost?
What's going on, man? You want to get something off your chest, C Prince? What's up, man?
Yeah, I'm just listening. I've been typing and listening. I'm like, wow, man. It's not, the dude told the truth, ain't that Black women in America are lazy, point blank. They're lazy. If it ain't for their job, they excited to go to the job. They go to their job to listen to another man tell them what to do and come home and complain to the man they're with. You see what I'm saying? That don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Then they talking about, you gonna take me out to eat, but you can't afford the place we going to. But you want me to pay for the same that you can't afford for. You see what I'm saying? I don't get it. The only thing they keep up, which is a lie too, because everything on this is their fake hair, because they don't keep it up, they buy it from somebody else. So you know what? They keep their nappy roots covered because they don't want to do it. Let's be real. Let's tell the truth about it. You know, let's tell the truth. You know,
some of them can't even afford that.
Hey, they're gonna get mad. They're gonna be offended, like, oh, he bashing black. No, I ain't bashing black women. You bash yourself.
Ooh, see Prince. That's how you come and see Prince. You gonna come out
That's how
like that, man?
I'm coming just like that because I'm tired of seeing the same thing. Hey, you go outside one, you see them all. They look like a bunch of like M&Ms or something. You know.
Oh my goodness.
You look.
See Prince. Hold on, see Prince. Let me ask you this, see Prince. Let me ask you this, see Prince. Is it? But do the fellas got some ownership in this situation? Do the fellas need to step their game up? Like, is that really what it is? Do the fellas need to get their stuff together in order for the women to, you know what I'm saying, become correct? What is it, man?
Why you would think that's the case? Oh, you can go. Who's that?
That's C Prince. Go ahead, C Prince.
I don't understand why you say the men got ownership. Guess what? The man is only going to take himself or do the necessary things to go get his woman, right? So if a woman raises herself up, the man's going to raise himself up because guess what? We're chasing you. You're not chasing us. If you chasing us, we know why you're chasing because we got some money. You know what I'm saying? But overall, most men are chasing women. So guess what? So since they know their standards, so what? That's why these brothers don't comb their hair, brush their teeth, wear the same drawers for a whole week, and they still in love with these Negroes. You see what I'm saying? So let's be real. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real. Let's be real.
Oh man. See Prince, man. So you just gonna come back on here and just try to shut the panel down. Is that what you doing, see Prince?
I'm just saying, if you get a clean cut brother, he out there doing his things, they walk past him. But you pick that dirty dude that look like he been in prison for 100 years and ain't bathed for a couple of days, then women are going crazy over him. And his gold teeth ain't even gold no more. They almost a part of yellow and orange because he can't even clean them things. He's smiling in your face with bad breath and stuff like that, smelling like some broke cognac or something like that, or the weed cologne. They in love with that brother. And guess what? He playing video games and spending your money, driving your car, cheating on your girlfriend with your dumb butt, talking about you love him. Let's be real.
Oh,
eating the kids' snack packs, eating all the kids' snack packs and food too.
But to be fair, well, when I say better, I think my experience is I'm treated very well by black women, like very, very well. For me, the better is like maybe say if it's a 7 with them, it might be a 9 or 10 in Brazil. But for a lot of guys, it's more like a 3 for them. So, but I'm like that clean cut guy. I'm not someone that came out of prison. I don't pretend. I'm well spoken, and I get approached by black, and I get treated very well by them. But it's still kind of like it's like for me the difference between going to a Mercedes dealership and a Bentley dealership. But for a lot of guys, they're getting a Honda dealership treatment from the same black women for whatever reason. Maybe they're just not. I don't know. They're not into them, and the guys are chasing whatever. And they go to Brazil, and they get in their minds Mercedes treatment. So it's not like a massive difference for someone, I guess, like me or maybe like beatboxer. So I don't want to make it seem like, oh yeah, I have a struggle in America. No, I don't. I've been given money. I mean, I get treated well. I just get treated not way better there. For him, the guy in the video, he's probably like, wow, I've never seen this before. For me, it's like, okay, I've experienced some of this quite a bit, but it's just a different level. So it just depends on the man. You say, should men take some responsibility for it? Yeah, it could just be the way they dress. A lot of them are overweight. A lot of them, some of them got diabetes. Like they're not doing too well health-wise. They don't take care of their body, their physique. They're not looking like beatboxer like myself. They're not dressing well. They're not smelling right. And so, but they go out into the streets and then expect women of any race to be into them and then take them seriously and be treated well. That's not even going to happen in Brazil. So I find that perhaps men, their mindset switches when they go to a different country. I have to be on my A game. So they can't. So that could be it too, because I've seen it. You know, guys who you say, oh, yeah, but maybe they're a little overweight, but now you can tell. I think that person bought that shirt and those pants and they bought those new shoes for the trip. So they present themselves better elsewhere, but they lack on themselves where they're coming from. Because it makes you want to step your game up because you're expecting to get something better. So that could also be a mental thing as well. I know B-Box is shaking his head. I'm just saying what I saw. I'm saying what I saw.
Can I get this?
Man,
Can I get this? Can
we
I
got
get this?
Coco. Oh, hold on, C-Prince. Hold on, C-Prince. We got Coco. We got Mr. Research queued up. Coco, I see you itching. Miss Research, come right after you.
I'm going to just real quick. I'm going to actually agree with C Prince. Like, I agree with him in his point that he made. I do agree, but I'm going to double down. Okay. Because just like we could say that for the women, I totally agree with what he said. Everything he said. I'm going to add something else, right? Those dudes that he's talking about that will wear the same drawers for a week. See, what's happening is women over here also, they are allowing men to take on this more lazy mindset. Y'all getting lazy. Joe just backed me up when I already knew this is where we were going, but this is where we at. Because the truth of the matter is, and we know that this doesn't fit every guy, just like we're not talking about every single woman. But some of y'all have gotten lazy because women have dropped their standards. They're willing to deal with, take, and accept. Not all women, but a lot of women are willing to accept a lot less now because let's just call it what it is. Some of them themselves know they got issues. They're insecure. They lack confidence. So they're willing to accept certain things from men that we wouldn't have accepted in the past. They've lowered their standards in that regard, which is why they'll take that dude that likes to play video games. As long as he want to sit up under them all the time, they don't mind that dude that they got to move into their place. As long as he'll sit up under them all the time. They don't mind that dude that they got to buy clothes for, underwear for, shoes and socks for, as long as he'll sit up under them all the time. As long as he is doing something for them that they want him to do, they will deal with all of that because they have lowered their standards. That's what's going on. But now you got the passport era. And listen, y'all can do whatever y'all want to do, however y'all want to do it, whatever y'all want to do. But y'all not taking them same dirty shoes, dirty drawers, bad habits, empty pockets over to Brazil or Thailand or Dubai or y'all or India, wherever y'all going to find these women. Y'all not taking that stuff over there to them. Because see, when you go over there with them, they do expect you to have something. They do expect you to be able to take care of a home, take care of a family. They do expect that. So yeah, you're right. They'll open the car door for you. Yeah, they'll pay for a meal or two, but they are not going to take care of you like you can get some American women to take care of you. They are not going to do that. And you know that if you want one of those, you're going to have to do better because the truth is we are at the point, like the boxer said, where we'll give our own any old thing. We'll show up for our own in any condition. But when it comes to wanting to be with the others, we'll do our absolute very best to make sure that we impress them. See, we want to impress the others. But for ourselves, we'll give anything. And that's just the truth. And so if some men will also be honest, the women have to be honest too. But if some men will be honest, it is an excuse. Because I guarantee you that that little mamacita that you like, you're not gonna ask her to pay for the first date, even if she is willing. That mamacita that you like, you're gonna show up with flowers. You're gonna open the car door for her. There's certain things that you're going to do for her that automatic you're gonna be willing to do for her. So I'm just saying, some of y'all using it as an excuse. Y'all will give y'all own whatever because you think we should accept whatever, and then you'll turn around and you'll give the other ones the world.
That's real. Let me go to Mr. Research, then I'm coming to Herschel. Mr. Research is on you. Herschel, you up next.
All right, I wrote a couple of things down. Let me put some bullets in the air. So this is really to the audience. I've defeated both of these ladies in intellectual debates. The one lady is from V103. The other one is the lady who's popular, who cursed out Ice Cube. I used to be on Fox Soul, and I've been on 103 and CNN. So what happens is most women from the city, matter of fact, let me say something good on what Coco just said. Most of the really, really great Black women, let's say something positive here about sisters. They're in the Boulay, they're cowgirls in Montana, they're little shy girls in the middle of Wisconsin, and a lot of dudes ain't flying there. A lot of dudes ain't going there because guess what? We want Little Kim to change her ways. We want Thought Pocket to stop being Thought Pocket. No. Every time I come on here, I'm balanced. I ain't gonna pick one gender. The real problem is dudes is talking about please change part 89 when he can go over there to that pick me and put a circle around her and get her to work with his program. Stella been getting her groove back in 94 and 95 before brothers even thought to do Passport. So we can't bring that part into the game because women been doing Passport for quite a while. Jamaica, Nigeria, buying pipe, all type of stuff, right? So the other thing I say going to what's happening with this gentleman, full context, they asked him if he dated other races. He said yes, and then they asked him to explain. His answer is his answer. But here's the setup that a lot of brothers get. If you're not able to break down details on why you said what you said, it comes across weird when you use certain verbiage. So I'm gonna try to give it a better explaining. Hey, he is domestic USA. He's really only dealt with city girls for most of his life. He's never interacted with international women who have an international and a boule and a cowgirl and a Alaska girl, a Hawaiian girl type of mentality. He never really interacted with that because he's from where he's from. And even though he makes millions of dollars or $500,000, whatever, he's only surrounded himself around a certain different demographic of city girl. And that's the truth of a lot of dudes when they wave the finger at black women. You've been dealing with the chicks you've been dealing with, but that nice pick me over there is right in Montana, living around all those white girls, and she just want a black dude she's been dreaming of ever since 1999. But we don't go over to that. Last 2 points. It really has nothing to do with other races. Let's be clear. Most of us black dudes, respectfully, I've been off the porch since 13. I was a latchkey kid. I barely saw my parents. Most of the dudes been on the porch for a while. They only really start coming into their own after high school, 28, 36. Most people can't even say they was making a lot of money before the housing crisis. So what happens is a lot of these dudes, no, that's real talk. You know that's real talk. You know that's real talk.
I got you.
But half of the dudes got to realize that it's not really this other race of chick. She's just different from you. You can be practicing Islam and she got another Persian version of Islam that you ain't never really ran up on because you thought it was all about Allah. But she's getting you a whole nother slice of the pie. And you like, oh my God, I'm flabbergasted. Oh, this is amazing. No, she just got another different thing you ain't been exposed to. And it's just like Serena painting her face a light skin color. She want to be an Armenian. Quote, I feel like an honorary Armenian. So these things tend to come into play. And I'm going to land by saying this here. Again, this is the same woman that cursed out Ice Cube, asking this dude these questions. When Ice Cube said, hey, he got a plan for America, and they jumped down his throat talking about women, women, women. Sometimes we also have to look at the people who are asking the questions of the brother. Not only how he responded, but what their agenda is, trying to set him up with a question that he's unaware of. Alain.
All right, appreciate that. Herschel, it's on you, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, so for me, my perspective is it's not really about like race or ethnicity. It's more so a cultural thing. You know, that's what I feel. What they're not, people like to say they like to put a picture on it, like this race, that race, or this place, that place. It's more so culture. So I think that the man, you know, Biggie Smalls, whatever, or fake Biggie, whatever you want to call him, he's been dealing with too much of the evolved American culture, of the type of American culture women, you know, this day and age. That's kind of been, you know, kind of skewed right now. It's kind of, in my opinion, it's not really that good, you know, not necessarily about a black woman or a white woman or this and that. But then, so when you do go somewhere else where you're dealing with a whole different culture, and he's getting that treatment, and he's like, oh wow, but he's putting a picture on. He's saying this lady and that lady, because I'll go with my own personal experience. So I've dealt with the same thing, like where I had this I was talking to this Vietnamese woman, you know, and it was the same deal. It was like night and day in a way. I was like, goodness gracious, I'm getting treated like a king, and this is, you know, whatever, you know. But I don't subscribe to the fact, oh, because she's Vietnamese or because she's not black, I'm getting this treatment, this and that. It's more a cultural thing. It's more like upbringing and a way of their life, the way they live. You know what I'm saying? And so, unfortunately, like, you know, American culture kind of, we just are just tainted, you know. So, but at the same time, though, to go back to what Coco was talking about, this same female that was, you know, giving me all these pluses, whatever, she started talking this stuff like making me feel like she just wanted to be a mail order bride or something. You know, she wasn't expecting to work. She was just saying like, yeah, she was just started talking conversations, just saying like she was just gonna be a stay-at-home mom. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like, you know, in this culture now, you know, you want, you know, have big things. Sometimes you gotta have more than one stream of income, and you know, most of us in this American culture are used to working women. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm used to. I'm used to independent, strong, working women. And then, so unfortunately, I might look down on the person that's like, just want to stay, in my opinion, just want to stay at home and not, you know, not go out and work and that thing. But, you know, so I'm saying, so it's like a plus and, you know, it's just back and forth. So it's like, you got to weigh it. You know what I'm saying? You got to get what, you got to get what you can get, but, you know, you got to
put her to work.
You know,
you could put her to work. If you have a
work.
business, you know what I mean. Like, if you have like, hold on.
I would he say put her to work.
Super class.
Yeah, that's my conversation.
I don't, you know, just for me personally, I don't care if a woman like choose to work or not. I'm just saying, you know, for somebody else that's like used to that, they're like, okay, they get all these good treatment, but then now it's like, oh, she doesn't want to put on, you know, bring something to the table financially. You know what I'm saying? So, but all I'm saying, the what I was trying to say, the point I was trying to make is that I think a lot of this whole thing is just more a cultural thing, you know, cultural difference. And, you know, I don't like pointing fingers at different races and this and that. There's tons of wonderful, beautiful, submissive black females in America as well. You know what I'm saying? But it's like where you're looking, what you're used to, and I'm gonna end with that for now.
Okay, appreciate that. Herschel. See, Prince, I saw you itching, man. What you don't like what he said, man? What's going on?
I think, listen, I always think that the men, you know, we too soft nowadays. Men are soft. I'm gonna tell you that now. Men are soft because I hate to say it, men are soft. They straight soft because I hate to say it. You have, and forgive me, I'm gonna say this. Hoes have become pimps.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And women have become hoes. Ain't this some junk?
Wow.
Women do not want to be women no more. They want to be hoes. And the hoes became pimp, and they pimping everybody. They made it so fashionable that hoes are respected. They get TV shows. They get influencers and stuff. They non-educated women are winning. Let's be real. They win.
That's true.
So when we go overseas, I tell everybody, we go overseas, these women, 9 times out of 10, we take $60. We pay their rent and everything for the month. Yeah, certain countries for a year. So we go over there. So guess what? It's a win-win situation for us going overseas because it don't hurt our pockets. You know what I'm saying? I could buy me
That's true.
some Crown, or I go overseas and I get me a new family for the same amount. You see what I'm saying? Let's be real with it. Let's be real with it. I got parties they go every month. They overseas they're like, man, it only cost me $200 and I get cooked and clean, 2-3 women. Oh, is it like that? You know what I'm saying?
Like that.
Wait. Hold on, see, Prince. Hold on,
like a shopping event. You know what I'm saying?
What I'm saying, but why can't you get that here though, man? Like why you can't get that here? Why you got to go overseas to get that? Why you can't get that here right here in the U.S.?
The same reason why the women buy their hair from overseas. They don't want the natural born man. They want from overseas. So we gonna go overseas and get that. We ain't got to buy the hair. We gonna get the woman. You see what I'm saying?
Damn.
Man, y'all out cold, man. Y'all out cold. Let me check in with JR real quick. JR been quiet this whole night. JR, you still there, man?
Yeah, I'm here.
You want to say something, man? Go ahead, man. Then we're gonna go to the next video. Go ahead.
Yeah, obviously, I've been listening and whatnot, and like, you know, I've mentioned it before as well, and I've said like, it's not about the color of the person, right? Because every race of man, within, you know, the genders, we all have issues between both men and women. Does that make sense? So of course, both black men and black women, we're gonna feel the impact of the negative things that we do to each other, right? So obviously, if you do go, let's say, date somebody else, I do understand that people do want to use the right words and whatnot, right? And I think for people, it's just a case of like, yeah, for this said relationship or experience, it was better than what I experienced over there. So I do understand where one can say like, oh, what do you mean by that? So I get that. But obviously, moving on from that, I think it's more the mindset of the women that we're having to deal with, you know, obviously in America and obviously in the UK as well. The men are just not willing to jump through hoops when we know that there's no, you know, the women are not willing to reciprocate. They're not willing to. So the fact that not willing to, we don't want to jump through hoops just to not even arouse you, not even to, you know, get you to do whatever it is, just to get you interested. And like C Princess said, if I can get this over here for this said price, and it's not really going to burn me, and the woman is going to reciprocate, I'm going to go where the mindset is correct for what it is. And the problem that we're having is it's that black men are getting shamed into accepting the bullshit that black women are doing today. And that's just the sad reality of it. Where it's a case.
I agree, JR. I agree with you, bro.
Hold on, let him finish up. Let him finish up, fellas. Let him finish up. Go ahead, JR. You still got it, man. Go ahead.
So, like I always say, right? When are we going to have that conversation of the black man's experience from the black woman? When? And that's the part that a lot of people keep missing, where it's like, once upon a time, black women said, hey, enough is enough, right? We don't want to deal with the bullshit that the black men are bringing, right? And black men are trying to improve. And the black men of today have been screaming like, hey, we ain't done nothing to you lot. So whatever you're experiencing ain't from us. So the black men of today, we're suffering from the backlash of the men from the yesteryear, from the women who never experienced that. So they're carrying the trauma from their mothers. And then you're expecting black men to just sit there and be the whipping boys for your traumas that we didn't give you. Now, one can say like, hey, you know what? I can give you grace, right? Because, you know, we understand what you went through or whatever it is. Now, like I said, if we can give you grace, there is still no reciprocation from the women when it comes to the relationship. And that's the part that a lot of people are missing. They are not willing to deal with the black man and cooperate with the black man. Like I said, just basic cooperation, they don't want to do that. What they want is control, like we've been mentioning in previous conversations. They want the control. Now, if you want to control me, and I know that I'm going to end up losing out at the end of the day because you can pull the plug whenever you want to, like I said, we want to send men into a burning building Why would we do that? Now, where the part that's not really making sense for obviously people when men go overseas and back to land, right? Men going overseas, what men are saying is like, hey, if I go overseas or if I date a different race or whatever it is, at the very least, before she burns me, she's putting in the work to burn me.
That's true
Did
statement.
you land?
Like we keep saying, right? Our sisters are saying, you should come in like this. Men are saying, okay, we understand. We want to improve. Like we keep saying, men improve. We want to get there, right? But they don't want to work with you. What they're saying is get there, then I'm going to join you at the finish line. Nah, fuck that. I'm going to go where I can win in it. That's it. It's as simple as that.
Okay. All right, we got that, Jay. I appreciate that. Coco, I'm gonna let you respond to him. Then we're gonna get ready to Go ahead, Coco.
I was just gonna say real quick. So I want to make this comment, but I want to leave space for JR for what he said to breathe, right? Like what he said, that his concerns are valid, like his comments are valid, like his feelings are valid. He's like, when are we going to have the conversation where men get to actually talk about their frustrations with it? And that's very valid. So I kind of want to make sure that like that was heard and felt because it's valid, right? And I think that we need to probably have a separate space to have that, like a separate conversation for that, because I think it's valid. But on the other side, as a woman, I do have to say this. When we talk about trauma and when we talk about the previous generation, there is a certain level of generational trauma that gets passed down. So we know that's true. And he touched on that. But I would say this to kind of say that the women of today right now are kind of working off of trauma that they inherited kind of from their parents, from the previous men. We could say that in some cases that could be very true. But let's be honest. A lot of the men have also inherited trauma because a lot of the men have come from these households where there were no father present, right? They are single parent households, and the majority of them, we know there are single fathers as well, but the majority of them are women, right? And there's trauma that's being passed down in those scenarios as well. So do we just say that those men now are not perpetrating that trauma on the women of today? Are not some of the complaints that some of these women have, current day women, modern women right now in you guys' generation, are not some of these traumas coming from a place of they've experienced this at the hand of men who have not had strong role models, who have not had good experiences, who have not really, let's be honest, learned how to be leaders, learned how to be independent and confident, and learned how to go into the world and really show up. Because what we're talking about excuses tonight. So everybody's opinion is valid and everybody's experience is valid. But is there a chance that some of these things can be coming from a place of excuses? Because we got excuses that the women are throwing out. You know, they got a bunch of excuses for you. They always got some type of justification for the behavior. Is it possible that we have some men who maybe are leaning a little bit on excuses as well and not wanting to just hold their portion of the responsibility? It is not all on the men. It is not all on the men. But are there cases where men could hold a little bit of the responsibility for where they're going and how things haven't worked out for them, as opposed to, once again, doing what the girl did in the video and just blaming women? Because we are talking about excuses. Just saying.
That's real beat boss. You want to respond?
Yeah, go on,
I
Beatbox,
see
go on.
Prince. I see a couple. I got a couple of y'all.
Sorry, JR. I think this kind of references to something I've said before. To answer your question, Coco. It's not, even if what you're saying is true, it's not an even 50-50 split. And that's really even the problem. And that's why I think JR is trying to suggest, I know you even mentioned that you said it over and over again, right? That's the problem, is that I mean, I already mentioned this about the out of wedlock piece with babies, right? Most of the children born out of wedlock, but it's not the majority of black men. But then black women will come and say, "Hey, we need black men to come save the community. We need you to do." We're not doing that, and that's a problem in and of itself. We're not going to do something if I'm not getting submission or any of that, or damn free sex. What do you think black men gonna be like? Oh yeah, we'll do stuff for free for you. That it doesn't work that way, and that's what I was alluding to in a little bit. But a lot of black women want stuff for free, and they don't even like you. So if they don't even like you, they want you to do things for free. What are we talking about, right? What are we even talking about? A majority, a decent amount of black women are overweight. Again, men don't want overweight women. They just don't. I don't know what to say. I mean, like, I don't know how many times we got to say this. And then Mr. C. Prince mentioned the hair piece. I mean, bruh, like fake hair, fake eyelashes. What are we doing? And the black men forever have been saying, hey, we don't like that. We don't like that. Please stop wearing that. That gets my dick soft. I don't like that. Right? We've been saying that. I don't know how, and it's insane. My God. It's insane. I don't know. I mean, these are like the smaller things, right? So when a guy like me, like I said, I haven't dealt with some of the things that some of you've dealt with as far as like Joe said, black women in general treated me well, right?
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. But there's a big difference with the reciprocity, right? Women from other races are just going to kind of do what it takes to get with you. They're just going to do it. They're going to do the extra mile. I'm sorry. They just are. If I told a black woman, hey, you need to take that fake hair out your head, I'll get cussed out. If I told the average black woman, hey, you need to just relax a little bit, I get you like regulate your emotions a tad. Hey, probably shouldn't be having sex with Pookie and Ray Ray. You might want to like figure that out. We get told, nigga. Sorry, I'm not gonna say a word. You get out my business, and that's fine. I'm cool with that. See, I'm okay with that. But then don't get mad when a guy like me, or a guy like JR, or a guy like Joe says, I'm picking something else. Like, I would rather deal with that because she's nicer to me. And she really likes me like that. And she'll do whatever I kind of want. Within reason. I'm picking that. I'm not picking somebody who's mean to me. And then saying, but you're black, so you're supposed to accept that. And because we dealt with the same struggle. Nah, I'm not doing that. No, thank you.
Okay, let me let C Prince get this last piece, then we're gonna go to the next video. Go ahead, C Prince.
All right, hey, I just want to address what Clifton Steven. He said, "Are we talking about true relationships and stuff? Or are we talking about?"
Hold on. Let me grab that.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. I got it. Go ahead.
Let's talk about that. True relationship. When you first meet somebody, it ain't a true relationship. It's an infatuation, a desire, a want. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when people always talk about this true relationship or true attraction, that's a lie. When you first meet somebody, you only attracted physically. You're not stimulated mentally. You trying to see what they're about, and you go fishing. Then guess what you do? If you're lucky enough, you go on a date with them a couple more times, and you're still not attracted to them. You know what I'm saying? It's something new. You know what I'm saying? You learn in the process. So before we get to a true attraction or something, it's going to take you about 6 months to a year to even say, oh, I really care about this woman, or start using the words because everything's an act before that. Because you're selling a product, you're selling yourself to this person to make them believe that you this person. But after 6 months, they invested. Now they willing to take this chance with you. Understand this, because there is no such thing as, oh, I fell in love at first sight. You might have knew that you was comfortable enough to make this journey with her because you don't know until you go down that path. A lot of people don't want to say, you don't know. You didn't come in this world with a chip that says, hey, as soon as we line up, we're magnetic. You don't know. So when you talk about true relationship, that's just like saying, I want unconditional love. But guess what? You place conditions before you said that. You see what I'm saying? So there's no such thing as true relationships and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
So let me say there. I appreciate that, C Prince. Let me say this. Clifton, he's dropped a couple comments. He said, if you use money as leverage, then you are just a John, aka Trick. He has also said, let's see, so are we just talking about appearances and communicate? Let's see. So are we just talking about appearances and communication preferences? So Clifton, let me say this, man. Let's see, if you respond for money, then you are a hoe. It's that simple. Yeah, so let me say this. I think that we have injected a lot of things into the beginning or the creation of relationships. Yeah, I think we've added in a lot of material requirements. I think we've added in a lot of superficial things. And folks are just not coming genuinely to the table like they used to. Yep, I know sometimes folks make the reference of, you dating a representative, but honestly, back when I came through, it was just a polished version of you. It wasn't necessarily no representative. It wasn't no fronting. You wasn't over here trying to put on no show, trying to attract somebody artificially. It was just a clean version of you, fresh out the shower, cologne, fresh haircut, and this me, and this what you get. Yep, and I think today we've added in all of these artificial pieces. Yep, and I think that's what's throwing it off. So things don't even start out genuine and authentic from the beginning. So I think that's the breakdown. Yeah, a lot of things have just gotten very material, and it is no longer authentic like it used to be. But let me keep us going because I got a couple videos lined up still going.
Can we please bring back women with class? Please. Like, we need to bring back shame. There has to be some shame in the game. Women just run around saying anything, doing anything, posting anything because there's no shame in the game. Then y'all just be like, let people do what they want to do. When I was growing up, we couldn't do what we wanted to do. Everybody had say so on what we did. Our moms, our dads, our grannies, our granddads, our aunties, uncles, principals, teachers, neighbors, people walking down the street. It didn't matter. And that is what kept us from acting the way the world acts today. Because we was embarrassed to make ourselves look stupid. We was embarrassed to post certain things on social media. We was too embarrassed to walk outside looking any kind of way. We was embarrassed because we didn't want to be shamed. But y'all make everybody think everything is okay and everything is not okay. Can we please get back to class? Please. Morals, morality, respect. I am so tired of the ratchet whore culture. I'm tired. Can we?
All right.
Dignity, discipline, consistency. Come on. She's left a few out.
Let me get this comment right here. Let's see. Nicole, shout out to Nicole in the building. She said, there is shame, but sadly, it is a smaller group drowned out by the majority. As well, men, some or maybe most act as it, let's see, as if it is not appreciated. I think that's what she's trying to say. Okay. Appreciate that right there. See, Kenyatta said respect. Let's see. When my guy Winfrey said bring shame back all 2025. So let me come to the panel. Do y'all agree we need to bring shame back? Yep, has stuff just gotten too far out of control? Has it gotten too loose? Do we need to get some structure back around it? I see the comments is going crazy. Let's see. Tiffany Weaver said, let's see, she's talking about the ratchet chicks. They are a different breed. Yeah, no doubt. Well, I said, I'm gonna loop in the fellas and the women. I said, it's a double. But do we need to bring shaming back? Yeah, do we need to get back to that? I'm coming back to the panel. I see. Well, Coco, I'm gonna let you go first. See Prince
Make
up
shame
second.
great
Mr.
again.
Research third. Go ahead.
Make shame great again. Absolutely. Absolutely. And when I say shame, I don't mean we out here dogging people out and making them feel low to the ground. I don't mean that. I mean that just like she said, feeling embarrassed if you don't present yourself a certain way. And I don't mean fake false lashes and weaves. I mean having respect, dignity, integrity. And if somebody caught you out in the street and they knew your mom and you were acting like anything less than what she knows you should be acting because of how she raised you, you were embarrassed. But you were embarrassed because you knew better, right? You knew there was a standard and you weren't necessarily keeping to the standard, right? That's what we mean, healthy shame. We don't mean making people feel low. That's actually what people do these days. They make people feel low and worthless. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the shame that will have you saying, no, I'm not going to say these words out of my mouth because they're disrespectful. The shame that will have you saying, no, I'm not going to wear my behind hanging out this dress because I want to have some dignity. I want to present myself better than that. That type of shame. That is what she's talking about. That is what we're talking about. We're talking about we used to have a standard, a higher standard than what we have now. And we don't have those standards anymore. And she's absolutely correct. And I agree with Nicole. Okay, yeah, there is a small group. There are a group of women out here that know how to speak, know how to act, know how to represent themselves in public. No, yes, we know that when we have these conversations, we speak in general. So we know all of this doesn't apply to every man. All of this does not apply to every woman. All of this does not apply to every American. We got that. That's clear, right? But unfortunately for the people who are making these videos and providing these content, hey, you made the content, so we're going to react to it. The fact of the matter is, yeah, everybody is in the don't judge era. So they feel like they can do whatever they want. And they don't want anybody to say anything about it. That's the problem.
Okay, that's real right there. Appreciate that. C Prince, it's on you, man. Go ahead.
Look, I like the words y'all using, shame, consequences, and all that. We ain't gonna bring shame back. I'm just gonna put it out there. You can't bring shame back because guess what? They don't know no values at home. Because how you gonna try to shame somebody and they have no values in their house? So we can't bring shame back. You see what I'm saying? These kids are more ratchet than their parents. You know what I'm saying? They tell their parents what they can and cannot do. You see what I'm saying? So guess what? These school teachers ain't going to school. They afraid of these kids. They don't even want to teach. They're just going in for a job. That high school ain't nothing but babysitting courses now. You know what I'm saying? So guess what? How you gonna shame these kids and they don't have no penalties at home? Or shame these adults? Shame these adults you want to, because the only thing they're gonna do is touch you. They're gonna act out. You know what I'm saying? If they had no responsibility at home when they growing up with no values, you know, when I was younger, you know, you get your butt beat and they sit you in front of that window so your friends can see you. And then your friends down there like, what's wrong with you? You know what's wrong with me. You see these tears in my eyes. You know what just happened to me. Oh, what happened to you? We like the warning sign. You know what I'm saying? Don't let this happen to you. You know what I did to get here. You see what I'm saying? But nowadays, you can't whip these kids. They call 911. Some of them might even knock you out. They might jump you, take your car, and make you sit in the corner. You see what I'm saying? Because guess what? The parents are weak. Let's call it. They weak, and you talking about, hey, the only way that's gonna happen, start in 2025. Start whooping these kids in 2025. In 2045, shame will be back. That's it.
But see, Prince, we got an adult issue though, man. So this is past the kids. Like, how do we get the adults?
You can't. They never had no consequences at home.
You saying it's impossible?
Try it. You look at the food in the White House. You know, I mean, I'm sorry, I don't mean to do that, but try it. Try to shame one of these people. I dare you go out there and say, hey man, go up and mind your business. My parents ain't hurting you. You know what I'm saying? You can't change adults. You know what I'm saying? That's like somebody told me the other day, they want me to go speak for a mentorship for guys who just got out of prison that's older than me. What the heck I'm gonna teach you? You've been in prison. You probably don't even know what an iPhone is. And you're gonna try to teach the mentor you not to go back to prison. You know what I told them? Thank you for visiting. You're going home soon. That's what I told him. You see what I'm saying? That's all I tell him.
I got you. Let me get this comment, then I'm gonna come to Mr. Research. Let's see. My guy Vince said maybe we need to have some judgment. I couldn't go to church looking any kind of way. There was a standard. Yeah, no, Vince, I agree with this, man. And I think once again, I think we helped create our downfall. Yeah, we got to a point where we let anything go. We got to a point where we decided that Certain things was freedom of speech, certain things was freedom of expression, and we just let everything go wild. Yeah, but now we are seeing the essentially the negative or the fallout from that. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we got to get back to some type of shame and some type of judgment. Something's got to take place. Mr. Research, it's on you, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna address shame, but let me catch up going back to Joe and Coco. So when Joe was talking about his thing, here's the thing though. Black men created this culture. I'm in love with a stripper. I need a boss chick. Black men created this culture. Nobody wants to be honest about that. When we were sitting up here saying, let's go to Queen Latifah route and the Moni Love route, half of the dudes, call it 51%, they was like, nah, we want the ratchetness. Look at little Kim. We want to write scrubs. What, didn't Beyonce that? No, dude wrote that. So we helped create a lot of this stuff that we complaining about. Let's go to the hair thing, just to give Coco a even stronger argument, because she was trying to be nice. Let's go to the hair thing. I remember coming out of Cali, these dudes up north and in the South couldn't stand Afro puffs. Man, y'all on that rock rough and stuff with Afro. Man, I don't like none of that. Now it's a switch up. So at some point in time, just to be fair to the discussion of excuses, don't nobody feel offended. I'm just talking about the topic. Don't nobody feel offended. To the point of excuses, what's the flip-flop with the Kings? How is the Kings flip-flopping? I remember when I first came on Kandid, I told both of you, I said, women are pimps. They looking for dudes to put heels on their own feet. That's a real thing. Because city girls are looking for desperate for the juice box dudes. Let me say it one more time for the audience. City girls are looking for desperate for the juice box dude, because they know the established dude got lawyers and he don't really care like that. He care, but even if it go wrong, he got a 10,000, 20,000 lawyer ready to go. She's scared of that. She want to go to the dude that's still dealing with public defenders. Tank Top Tony. The dude doing chin-ups at the stoplight. That's who she want. She knows she could go over there to that dentist and that librarian. The little chubby 5'5" dude. She know that's a good safe life over there. She's a pimp. So the problem is, and this comes to the shame part of it. Yeah, black men, not all. We love to shame women, but we hate receiving shame. Remember in New York when those 11 boys beat up that girl? Where was the dads? Where was the uncles? Man, I'm gonna knock your block off. You beat up that girl. I don't care. And you took her shoes? How about in New York when the dude, when she just wanted to suck his pipe and the dude had to front in front of his friends and hit her with the skateboard? He's still sitting on the curb to this day. Didn't even get touched by that. We dudes don't want that shame though. You see what I'm saying? So the brother's right. It's hard to bring it back because it has to go both ways. Shaming the chicks is one thing. I agree with everybody. These women are off code. But guess what? Back in 2018, 2017, some of you dudes was protecting the off code shit. Man, talk your girl. Talk. Don't act like y'all ain't heard that phrase before. Or if Joe is talking and a lady interrupt him, some of you dudes will champion the interrupt. Well, I prefer to hear from them women. Let me talk with. You're creating the culture you say you don't like to the people in the audience. So to be fair and balanced, man, even the other counselor on the thing will tell you this. When we counsel people, we deal with outcomes. We trying to show you the mirror of your own design within your own life structure. And the problem is for the black male community, because we done talked about women quite a lot. For the black male community, I don't think we want to be kings. We want to be known as the dudes that bust nuts and lift weights and fight on command.
So let me say this, Mr. Research. I think I do agree with you, right? I think that This is my only disagreement. I think that, saying a lot of brothers do want to be kings, but they don't understand that it comes with some work. Yeah, I think just based off of gender, just based off of status, just based off of financial, prowess, that should dictate king, and that's not it. If it involves work, if it involves you showing and proving, it involves you walking and living what you say that you want to be. So I think that's where the breakdown is. But no, to your point, Mr. Research, I agree. It's on both sides. Yeah, the ladies got to get called for it. The fellas got to get called for it. Because that's at the end of the day, the fellas are not innocent in this situation. I said, and we got to be honest about that. Let me circle around. Herschel, Beatboxer, Joe, JR. Y'all got anything y'all want to add to this? If not, I got more to come. Go ahead. Let's come off.
Okay.
Go ahead, Beatboxer. I say you come off. Go ahead.
Sorry, to actually jump on to Mr. Research's point, I'll say this. I not only do I agree that I really do agree that a lot of the stuff that's going on is not it's not a woman problem, it's a man problem. I think, like, for example, OnlyFans. A lot of guys talk about, oh, we don't like OnlyFans. Well, like 95% of the people buying the stuff are dudes. So I don't want to hear that, right? I don't want to hear guys when they say, like, oh, like women are doing this or that. Nah, but like, listen, a lot of this stuff is happening because some of it we're allowing, and we don't care. Because it's some of it doesn't affect us personally until it does. And I think it's a human issue, to be honest. But I don't like when men like complain about what women are doing this and that and the third, and you don't do anything about it. And on top of that, you kind of in some ways tacitly condone it. Yeah, and for some men, they're like, oh, well, as long as I'm getting sex out of it, and as long as I'm getting entertainment out of it, and I'm going to be okay. And some of it's also men are afraid to tell women, because I think some men just like women just nodding, right? So some men will just pander to some things that women are saying. Like, as women says, oh, I like this or that. I'm, oh yeah, sure. They might not believe it, but like, yeah, sure. For money, Derek Jackson comes to mind, right? So they'll say whatever they got to say, do whatever they got to do, and say, like, queen, you're all good. So I think most of it's a man problem, personally. I don't think it's even really a woman problem. I think men need to nut up a little bit, to be quite frank.
No, I feel that. No, listen, I definitely agree. Because I said, once again, on this platform, we gonna call it all out. Yeah, like I said, if the women are dropping the ball, we gonna call it out. If the men are dropping the ball, we gonna call it out. And that's just what it is, because at the end of the day, that's the only way that we can correct this stuff. Yeah, right now we doing a lot of finger pointing. You know what I'm saying? Once again, going back to the topic, making excuses. We doing a lot of finger pointing. Yeah, but we got to be honest. The fellas, they not fully on point. They not moving fully like they need to. And the same with the women. They not fully on point. They not moving fully like they need to. Yeah, so we got to be honest about this thing and hold ourselves internally accountable. Yeah, the problem is not always the other sex. It's not always the other gender. Yeah, you got to look inward first, and that's the struggle. Everybody just want to point the finger, but they don't want to look at themselves first, and that's typically where the breakdown is at. Let me get this comment right here. Donovan said, being the king is a daily constant responsibility. It's not a duty on Monday and then be a fool on Tuesday because it's fun. Yeah, no, that's facts. Yep, and listen, everybody's not ready for that responsibility. I think that's the piece we got to acknowledge as well. See, Vince said, I don't think most men want to take on the full responsibility of the kingdom. And that's true as well. Yeah, a lot of folks ain't ready to carry, you know what I'm saying? A lot of fellas is not ready to carry that on their shoulders and do it. So we got to be honest about that thing. All right, I got a couple sitting down here, man. I'm trying to see what to drop. Let me throw this up here.
Excuse me, dang. I'm nervous. Yeah, okay. You can't be looking at me like that, dog.
Come on now, dog.
So what? Are you like your man tall?
Yes, I do.
Bruh, you gonna pick him? That's easy.
But that wasn't the only reason I popped him, though.
Oh, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I was nervous, man. I don't wanna.
Why are you nervous?
She's beautiful. That's why I can't look at him.
Do you not think you deserve someone beautiful?
You know me?
Yeah, you.
Of course I do. Of course
So why
I do.
you
Of
pop your
course I do.
balloon?
You want to feel my heart? It should be like 100 times fast right now. Telling you, like I feel like I'm about to have a heart attack. But no,
Give him another balloon.
Okay.
Let me have another balloon.
Round 2. Wait. Come here.
What are you saying? I do have one more question. Go for it.
Yeah,
do
do
you
it.
work out though?
Yeah. So I used to be 405 pounds. Now I'm
Really?
250. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah. Man, so I'm proud of myself. Had a heart attack last year. I was fat as shit. Yeah, I'm active now.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah,
That's
the heart
good to know
doing
because
good.
I don't want you dying on me now.
Yeah, nah, I wouldn't. Man, you got me down right now. My heart's still beating. Trying to calm my joint down, man. Goodness gracious.
So this is a match? It is a match.
Yeah, it's a match. Bro, you want my balloons? Good luck, bro.
It's a lot.
All right. So I want to come straight to the fellas. I needed my guy Vince up here for this one. This a Vince question right here, but I'm coming straight to the fellas on this one. So fellas, what did y'all see? Where did the brother go wrong? We talking excuses tonight. So what did y'all see in that video right there? Anybody come off mute, say what you want to say. What did you see with that brother right there?
Well, man, I seen a fat ass, so I get it.
Oh,
what?
But obviously, sometimes you got to act like you've been here before, and he ain't got the composure, you know, like that. Like he just lost all, lost all composure, man. Like sometimes you got to act like you've been there before, innit? You know, like act as if you've seen a lady that beautiful and all that stuff. Like, I was just, I don't know if I was laughing because it's funny or because I was embarrassed for him.
Okay.
Well, it would be embarrassing, wouldn't it? If, I mean, technically, we don't know if he won in the end, but he at least won in that instance. She ended up getting with the guy. So, you know, some women find that charming. He was honest about how he felt, even though to us it's like, oh yeah, act like you've been there before. But for him, it's probably like he could act like it, but she could probably read through it and say, I think this guy is faking it. And she probably wouldn't have been as attracted to him as he is just being like, look, my heart beating, actually I like you like that. And it kind of reminds me of like that old, like elementary, maybe high school puppy love type thing. And you don't see that too often, especially with adults, especially with men. And to us, it's like, why are you acting like that? He's too old to be. But she found it endearing enough to get with the guy. So hopefully it works out for him. You know, I'm sure over time his nerves will calm. Like C Prince said, you know, that infatuation thing. Some of us got a little better control over it than others. You know, that thing still gets jumping when I see a beautiful woman. It's like, oh crap. And it happens enough to where I know how to control it. For him, that's probably the most beautiful woman he's ever seen in a long time. So it's just like a boom, like a shock. But for someone like me, it's just like, okay, it happens and I'm aware of it, but I don't do all of that. And usually that doesn't work out. Usually it doesn't. But in this case, it worked out for him. You know, some women like that shy, nerdy type, you know, bashful. Doesn't usually work out, but hey, I'm hoping that he actually gets married and he got the girl of his dreams and she found what she found, he got what he got, and they both happy together. And it doesn't matter what we think about the situation, what we can see with our own two eyes. What matters is he got the girl for as far as we know, and I hope that he keeps her and that she keeps him and that they go on and have kids and have a family and do all kinds of great things together.
Okay. I appreciate that, Joe. Go ahead, C Prince.
I think we didn't see the whole clip. And I think that he actually seen what she was, he played to what she needed. I think he actually played to what she needed because she's used to men coming at her and trying to talk and spit that game. But this time, he gave her the confidence to say that she was in control. You know what I'm saying? I think he played a great game on that one. I'm honestly, I think
that's
he did.
Possible.
I really think he played.
I don't know, man. That's a good perspective.
Yeah,
and I'm not gonna rule it out. And I did consider. I was like, is he reversing it? Like, because he knows that a lot of men he's playing that, and now she's kind of like feeding. So it's possible. I don't know. I really don't know. But some men are crafty like that, and we can be like, oh, I can tell she get a lot of men that come on her. Let me do the opposite of that, and that might work. And he's probably thinking like, yeah, oh shucks, I don't really know, my heart beating up my chest. It could all be a lie, but honestly, I can't tell.
And think about this: most women like to smile and be complimented and stuff. He played right down there. Her defenses dropped. She didn't have to, he dropped the defenses on her. Now she's more enticed to listen to what he got to say, and more woman to get to know this man. Understand this, because it's nothing worse trying to talk to a woman. She guarded. What's your angle? True. What is your angle? You come at me. Now he ain't coming out with it. He's like, look, everything you write what I need. I'm just too weak to talk to you right now because I gotta catch my breath. She feeding it. He feeding the animal now. You know what I'm saying? He feeding the animal. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God!
He feeding it, and she's like, "Shoot, I don't hear nobody else." Boom! This is one I can take home and control. And then he put the script on it. It's too late now.
But here's the problem, though. If that's true, then it won't last, because it can only be temporary, because his real self will eventually show itself. Like you said, 6 months to a year down the line, he can't maintain that facade if that's what it is. So he'll get the short-term pleasure, he'll get the sex and all of that, but it won't last if what you say is true. I hope it's not true. I hope that he actually felt that way, and that's what it is, and that is who he is, not for this particular woman. But man, if it's not, man, that's some diabolical shit. That's diabolical. I can't even do that. Like, I'll tell a girl, yeah, I like you. Like, I don't, but I'm gonna be me the whole way through, because I know 6 months down the line, I have to be myself the way you see me now, as I'm going to be 6 months from now. That's just maturity over time. Like, trying to play that game of, oh, let me do reverse psychology. I know she already got all the guys, so let me do the opposite. No, I'm going to be who I am, and I might not even be your type, and I'm okay with that.
That's real.
But
That's
a lot of
real.
guys still play that game. That's crazy to me.
No, I got you right there. Let me see what Herschel will say. I see Herschel got that look. Herschel, what you see in that video, man, with the brother? What you see, man?
Well, I can't speak for the guy. I don't really know, but he possibly was playing the Shaw brother role, like the Five Heartbeats movie. He probably was doing that. Or also on the other side too, it might be some truth to this too, but I don't know how long he probably had some weight issues or whatever or not. But a lot of times you become that, and you internalize that. So there's a lot of probably some self-consciousness. You know what I'm saying? So he probably was still the 400-pound man there, even though he dropped half of the weight, still thinking like he can't get the girl and things of that nature. So that's a possibility too. That's all I want to say.
That's a great point.
No, so that's real. I appreciate that. Appreciate that observation, Herschel. No, that's looking at that video. That's what I saw. Yeah, I saw, something that we've touched on tonight, and that's men not being men. Yeah, one of the first things that the brother asked the young lady was, do she prefer him a little tall? And it's like, why are you worried about that? Yeah, but if you have the man, if you come in to, approach this young lady, engage with this young lady, it don't matter if you tall or not. Shoot your shot, do what you do. Yeah, so sometimes when I hear, some of these things, and I'm just going to say it, some of these things that the young ladies say about fellas today, I see these types of videos and it gets validated. And it's like, when did fellas get like this? Yeah, when do we get to the point where, we ready to pull ourselves out the game because we may not be tall as the next guy? Yeah, when did we get to the point where, just because we was wearing 400 plus pounds, and now we didn't drop the LBs and we back in a workable weight, we ready to pull ourselves out the game? Like, when did we get to that point? Yeah, when did men stop being men? Yeah, but that's why I said, I know tonight we talking excuses, but for me, this is another excuse. It's just like, your height shouldn't be the excuse why you can't shoot your shot at this young lady. Yeah, but I don't care what she like. She might like him 6'2", but you 5'10". So go ahead and shoot your shot and see what it's gonna be. Take your rejection if that's what it's gonna be, and move on. Yeah, but I'm noticing something. And like I said, video is an example of it. I'm noticing something with fellas today, and it's not adding up to me. Mr. Research, I saw you come off mute, man. What you want to say?
All right, so let me say this quickly. I'm at Home Depot. Let me say this quickly. Here's the problem, though, man. And please don't nobody get offended. But for all the people in the audience, let's be honest. A lot of dudes have taken on the auntie logic. We was never the type of dudes to be dirty macking, worried about how somebody else moving. This is this 1990 self-destruction nonsense. When we see a short dude with a tall woman, what's the first thing half of us say? We got something to say about it. And we got to make sure the short guy know about it. We be pocket watching. We be penis watching. It's ridiculous at this point. So, of course, a lot of these dudes growing up in this 2005 mentality are going to be indoctrinated with the, well, she ain't going to like me. What does she think? Well, I want to hear from her. That's what we've turned it into. And like I said, during this whole conversation, respectfully, yeah, we can blame the women for a whole bunch of stuff. But a lot of dudes don't want to be hip to the fact that for our sons and nephews, we created this culture the way it is right now.
That's real. No, I appreciate that comment right there. All right, let me do this real quick. Let's see, because I wasn't about to let this go. So let me circle back to Hirsch. So Herschel, I said we get out of here after this. So I saw you posted something recently. That's a little off topic, but I gotta have this conversation. So I saw you posted something recently. I saw you was catching a little heat. So what's up, man? Talk to me real quick, man. What happened, man? What did you see? I'm gonna open it up to the panel, but go ahead and let me know what you saw, man, because I've been watching that post, man.
All right, so for people that don't know, I'm gonna share the situation, and I'm not trying to exploit anybody or anything like that. But so I'm gonna say like what I do on social media. So when I post something on my page, most of the time it's usually something about my son or whatever. But if I post something, it's because it's something that I find intriguing to me, something I'm wondering about, or something that I've related to, something that's happened to me, or something that I can relate to, agree with, or something that I'm like on the fence with and wondering and getting other people's perspective. So that's just how I post. Sometimes I just post something that I found to be funny, you know. Anyway, so I posted this thing. I mean, it just came up on my thing, so I shared it. I shared it because, for one, I've had many clients, many of my peers, even myself, that have been through this situation, experienced it. I just put it up there, you know, because I just realize, you know, sometimes we relate to something, we just put it up there. So immediately, well, I don't say immediately, but I got some responses on there, comments where some females they said they disagree with the post, and someone said that it's not true. So I'll dissect this. So the women that said that they disagree with the post, I just put a simple okay, because I validated that they disagree. You have every right to not agree with whatever the opinions of that person that post I shared or whatever. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But the ones that said not true, I added a little bit to it, because I said, well, it's not true for you, not true in your situation, but there is a truth to it because it's actually happened to me. So it's not like a fairy tale. It's actually happened. So I said that. And so for me, it should have ended right there, but it didn't. It kept going. So the other person had to get the last word. And so they said something like correct, like they're correcting me or something. And I'm like, well, you know, I said, I wasn't asking a question. You know, I wasn't asking, you know, I'm telling you, yeah, it's not true for you. And then that should have been the end of that as well. But then it wasn't. The person came double back on me and said they tried to explain to me why they're telling me that I'm correct. And I'm like, at this point, I just left that alone, because I'm like, we get this. Okay, that's redundant. What are we doing here? Like, and I could care less what you feel about it. I just posted something and that's the end of it. So the other person that said not true, I said the same thing. I said, no, it's not true for you, not true for your situation. Then I explained, I said, you know, I shouldn't have to explain that. Then the other person said, like, okay, I get that and everything, but she said, well, this post is misleading. It can have somebody to assume that they're saying that all women are this way, and that's not true, and this and that. So I just responded and said, look, now, if a person doesn't have common sense to know that you just can't make absolutes about a gender or a race, whatever, you can't just classify everybody in one to be doing one particular thing. If you don't have sense to know that you can't do that, then that's a bigger problem, and I can't fix that. And I left it at that too. So because I was just getting some real energy because I, I guess because what I posted was not really something that was, not something that people like to hear. So they wanted to just disagree with it and just refute it and just say, nah, this is not true. Yeah, now the way the person posted this, whatever, yeah, it could look like, okay, they just think that all women are like this. But no, when I read it, I didn't take it like that. I took it like, well, that's for that, whatever. That person must have dealt with that, his situation or whoever, you know what I'm saying? And I had enough, common sense to know that it's not everybody, but it happens. So that's just what happened. I guess that's what you were saying. So I don't know what you were asking.
No.
What else you want me to?
So that was the post?
I shared that.
Yeah,
and you got slack for that post?
Huh?
You got slack for that post?
Yeah.
Oh dang!
You just shared it. You didn't even write it. You shared it.
Like they came at me just saying that they say that they totally disagree and they say it's not true. So my thing is, I don't care. I mean, I'm cool with the ones that say they disagree with it because if that's not true, that's not true. But the ones that say it's not true, you can't go out and say that because
was it a lot of women saying it to you?
All women.
Because they did it. They did it. You should have told the truth. They did it. So that's what they it's a reflection of their blood.
Oh my God.
Because you ain't gonna argue something that you didn't do.
That's an interesting point.
So let's dig into that because I think it's a problem. So like I said, me and Hirsch are tied. So I saw the post, and I'm watching it. And exactly what happened on the post, I expected it to happen. So I want to get down to the bottom of what is going on.
Right.
Why is it? Let me put it like this. Why are black men and black women so mad with each other? Yeah, it's like it's to the point where we can't even have, constructive conversations. Herschel can't just post what he wants to post. And like I said, he was not calling anybody out directly. He wasn't doing any of that. He just literally shared it. And then it gets taken defensively. And it's like, how do we get to this point? How do we correct this point or this situation that we are in? Why can we not? I mean, I know this is going to sound simple, but it's like, why can't we just get along? Like, why does it always have to be this man is saying something, I got to go at him. This man is saying something, he must be coming for me. So I got to attack what he's saying. It's like, that wasn't even his intentions, but that's what it turned into.
And the women that commented, I'm sorry, real quick, the women that commented, I've never been in no relationships with them. It's like, I don't have it's no connection, it's no tie.
No, I understand.
We went to school together. And so it's
yeah, I understand. And I was watching it the whole time and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to bring this up on the show because I'm like, once again, he's just sharing something, that he saw some value in. And then it turns into this back and forth. And it's like, nah, that ain't all women. And it's like, he didn't say it was all women. Like the article didn't say it was all women. No, but it's like it just turns into this. It turns into this battle. It turns into this back and forth. We fighting, we arguing. I got to fight your point. I got to challenge your point. And it's like, that's not even what it's about. So I'm just trying to understand, can we correct it? Is it possible? How do we get us back on the same page? Man, y'all tell me something. Coco, C Prince, come off mute. Go ahead, Coco. I'm gonna let you get it first. Go ahead.
Vince said it before I can even get it out. A hit dog always holler. I told y'all this many times. I stopped posting on social media, stuff like that. I used to post stuff like that all the time, and people would get triggered. And it's like, I just stopped, like, because y'all don't want to hear it. Y'all really don't. If this does not apply to you, it has nothing to do with you. You've never done this. This isn't your story. You can't relate. Then just keep scrolling. You can disagree quietly and not have to ever say anything because it doesn't relate to you. Like it's not, it has nothing to do with you. So you know what I mean? But when somebody takes a long enough to comment on a post and then to respond, if you respond and then want to go back and forth, that just tells you right there, you putting too much energy into something that supposedly you don't relate to. You're putting way too much energy into it. It's giving, it's true. That's what it's giving. It's giving that it's absolutely true. That's why you have such a strong reaction to it. And that's why you're going back and forth about it. This is why. I do not care. I'm going to say this, and listen, this is not directed at anybody. Okay.
Yes.
But if it hits you, do that. Go work on that. You go address that. Because I'm not talking to you. So if it hits you, you know what to do. Anytime anyone on the internet, even if it is somebody that you know, maybe you knew, maybe you went to school with, whatever, it doesn't matter. But anytime someone is able to post anything on Donald J. Trump's internet, anytime, and you get offended and they're not calling specifically you out, it's a you problem. It's you. It's a you problem. It's you. If I'm not talking about if somebody's just talking about random topics like politics or whatever, people get in their feelings about that. I'm talking about if it's something about men and women and you get triggered and they're not talking to you at all. Why are you so triggered though? Don't get me wrong, you can disagree with a post. People post things all the time that I disagree with. They post things I agree with, whatever. Sometimes I never even respond. But what has you come into this post so triggered that you have to respond? Your response is triggered, I can tell. And then somebody maybe responds back or somebody else posts another response that has nothing to do with yours. And then you also have to respond to them. You are triggered. And it is something about you. It is you. It is you. Because I should be able to say whatever I need to say, my opinion, my perspective. I should be able to repost whatever I want to repost if I agree with it, or if I just think it's interesting, or maybe I just want to share it so other people can see it, right? I should be able to do that without you attacking me. If you're attacking me, it's a you problem. It's you. You're the drama. Period.
It's real right there. See, Prince is on you, man. Go ahead.
Now, I'm gonna have to take the young lady side for a second. Herschel, I'm gonna ask you this question: Do you know her boyfriend, her dude she dated or something?
No.
Okay, then when I ain't taking her side, then now she's about to get it. now she's about to get it. Now think about this. My experience with women that attacks a conversation or a topic, 9 times out of 10, they have fault on that topic. Period. Point blank. Or they ride and die for the homegirl that they think they fight the battle that's not theirs because that's the honorable thing they wanted to do. Or better yet, they parent somebody else's pain through them like their mothers. You know what I'm saying? Their aunties. So you see what I'm saying? So guess what? She need to check herself because if it didn't relate to her, and I'm gonna be nice, I'm not gonna tell her to shut up. I'm gonna be nice because I can say a lot worse things to her. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, as men, we got to build these women up. And the first thing you should have told her, hey, let's go have lunch, dinner, because you need a man to put you in your place. I'm gonna pay for the dinner and I'm gonna talk to you and send your ass back home with a lesson. That's what you should have told her. That's what you should have told her. For real. Because hey, I'm grown here. I'm posting this thing so people go to talk about it. But don't come at me like I did something to you. You see what I'm saying? And that's how I feel. Because sometimes the problem with women, they used to dealing with these hip hop artists that they call themselves men. You know what I'm saying? These hip hop artists. So when they run to a man like me, then all of a sudden they don't know. They go, what? Yeah, I ain't your daddy, but guess what? You're gonna respect me as this man. I'm gonna tell you what I need you to know and understand that, hey, I'm gonna respect your boundaries, you respect mine. But guess what? When you get online, I got to put you back in line, not forcefully, but makes you understand, talk to you in a manner that you understand that you out of pocket. And we can continue this conversation, because if you start yelling, raising your voice higher than your height, we ain't got nothing else to talk about. Calm it down, woman, because I ain't your enemy. I'm your friend. But first, if you don't want to be my friend or learn how to be respectful to me, we ain't got nothing else to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So she got to get it. So you need to go in and pull up on her.
So that's real right there. Let me get this comment real quick. Hold on, Hurst. Let me get this comment. Come right back to you. Let's see. Winfrey said, let's see, you hit the nail on the head. See, Prince, team, let's see, team women and the girls. Let's see, we defend delusion and nonsense like it's law. Yeah, no, that's real right there. Go ahead, Hirsch.
I was just gonna say, like, that wasn't my battle, you know, like that to be fighting. You know, that's not. I wasn't gonna put my energy into that, because, for one, she said something about saying that she's in a good relationship now, she's happy or something, whatever. So, okay, good. You with your man, he'll have to deal with it. He'll deal with it. So that's not my issue. I wasn't even there for that. I wasn't even there for that. I was just sharing. No, you didn't see her. I don't think they posted the comments. I'm like,
yeah, they post that.
No, I didn't put the comments up, man.
Yeah, just out of respect, you know, I'm not kind of.
Oh, she had a man out of respect, right?
Class and all that. So the thing about it, I'll just say my perspective of like the issue that I had. It's kind of relatable to our story we talked about a little earlier. What I got from that was just this energy. Again, that I said, it goes back to what I was saying about the American culture of the women. Is like, why can't you just be? I mean, why can't you just be softer anymore? Like, where's the softness about you? You know, like, and I don't mean soft like you're weak and you like submissive where you just let people run over you. I'm talking about, like, just imagine a soft pillow, you know, that you just bought. You want to lay down. It's comfortable. It feels good. It's soothing. It's relaxing. It makes you feel secure and good. I feel we've lost that, because it feels like for them to have the need to just, like, I say something and then you got to go and like double back on me and just like combat or just be on the opposing side. I'm already fast forwarding picture. Like, we was in a relationship, I can see you already right now. If I sit here and try to make a decision about something that's serious about our family or life, I'm gonna get some lip about it. You know what I'm saying? And I try to make my point. It's gonna be, you're trying to get the last word, and it's like you know, like it. So that's what I got off of it, and it was just a little irritating, and it was just not attractive in my opinion. But I'm not, like I said, not trying to take away that they can't have their opinion and everything. But for one, this was my post, my page, my share, and I said what I said. You don't even have to even be on there. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that you're taking all that energy to always have to get the last say, the last word on my thing, it's like, what are we doing here? And it's like that's the problem that we have right this day. What's up?
That's real. Hold on.
So let me
Prince,
say this.
Hold on, Mr. Research. I'm gonna let y'all rock one second. Let me just ask this question, because I think it's important. Because I know we got some ladies in the comments. Ladies, drop a comment. Be honest with me. Be honest with me. Are y'all still comfortable being soft?
Let me say something, Quay. I want to say something to Herschel, because I made a mistake with my daughter.
Go ahead.
I made a mistake with my daughter. I raised her to be tough and almost think like a man. To be honest, I did. And I noticed how I made her so hardcore that, you know, just like my sons, I know my daughter can handle herself. I ain't got to worry about her. But at the same time, the way I raised her, it's hard for her to be in relationships. You know, because the men like, you act just like me. But I'm like, shoot, man, I ain't worried about my daughter, because guess what? She got them hands, you know what I'm saying? Forget this. If you with my daughter, I'm or her brother's coming. But you know what? And I taught her, don't take no lip from no man. You know what I'm saying? Don't want to go talk junk to your daddy. You know what I'm saying? Basically. So, in a sense, us men are at fault for raising a generation of cold, heartless women, to be honest, because I hate to say it, because A lot of men was out there being punks, putting their hands on the women, and guess what? You wasn't gonna put your hands on my daughter. Heck no.
Hold on, C Prince. Hold on, C Prince. I'm not letting that ride, C Prince. Hold on. So are you saying right now? Are you admitting on this panel that you raised your daughter to be uncooperative with a man? Is that what you're saying?
I raised my daughter to stand up for herself, hands down, 10 toes in the paint. Yes, I did. I say it. I think sure say it.
Yeah. I said.
Thank you, JR. Thank you, JR.
You don't sit up here and just prove JR right. See what I'm saying?
Yep, Jay, you proved him right.
Prove JR
10 toes.
right.
I ain't even lie about it.
Every time I try to defend y'all turn around and prove JR right.
Yeah. Listen to this. I can't help it that these women are raising some punk ass sons that can't handle my daughter. I ain't gonna front. If you men they gonna rise to the top. But if you can't handle a woman and get her back to her feminine side, that's the man's problem. But guess what? Because a woman will go back to her feminine side.
I ain't trying to handle no woman.
For real.
Hold on, JR. Hold on,
JR.
JR. We gotta dissect this. Hold on, JR. Hold for a minute, JR. Let me get these comments in. I gotta come back to this because I think this is a problem. Shout out to Love Coach in the building. She said, I am okay. So this is my question to the ladies. Are they comfortable being soft? She said, I am now. She said it was a skill I had to learn. I wasn't always. Being soft can feel weak at times. Wow.
Hey, I like that comment. I like that. Her daddy told her to be strong.
Yeah,
Mama?
that's wild right there. She said, but let's see. But now I know my softness is my strength. Okay, I appreciate that right there. Let's see. Vince said, let's see. That's honesty, Prince. We have raised our girls to be strong, independent, and alone. He said, I get it. Vince also said, femininity cannot be turned off and on. No, that's facts right there. All right, C Prince, I'm coming back to you, man, because I said this is a problem right here, man. So you telling us that you raised a strong and independent daughter, and that may be anti-cooperative to a man. So how do you can you fix that? Can you adjust that? What do we do from here, C Prince?
Wait, was the mother there? Like, the balance?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Balanced house, bro. Balanced house. Straight up balance. But the thing about it is, I tell everybody, when they was growing up, you seen the turn of these young men being more feminine. You know what I'm saying? I hate to say it. These men were weak. These young men were brought in weak. Mama's boys. I was a mama's boy, but I was no punk. These kids grew up softer. These men grew up softer than Kool-Aid. Point blank. You know, I watched little girls just punk these kids. Look, you ever go to a AA basketball when they got the mixed team and them little girls just running over them little brothers, almost trying to dunk the ball? I'm like, what's going on here? What's going on here? So it started in her generation with these soft men. You don't talk about these soft men.
I'll tell you what's going on. I'll tell you what's going on, yeah? Like I said, the men of today, we ain't trying to be like the men of the yesteryear. So you see all that conflict with our women, we ain't trying to be on that. What we're saying is, let's get on like two adults and let's go make this shit work. That's what we're saying. We ain't trying to be like the men of the yesteryear. So all this softness and all that you're saying like our men are, yeah, I can understand. But the problem is that if I want to be masculine, I am deemed to be toxic. If I am feminine, all of a sudden I am soft. So which one is it? Am I supposed to stand up to your daughter or am I not supposed to stand up to your daughter? Which one? Because you're telling your daughter to stand up to me throughout the whole relationship. So that means that relationship ain't ever gonna work. So from the get-go, like I always say, why bother?
See, what I see with the young men nowadays is they don't know how to handle conflict. They don't know how to talk. You know what I'm saying? hands down, if y'all having an argument, guess what? It's funny to me because then you see the switch. Now the women's more masculine than the dude in the argument. You be like, I'll sit back and watch like, I can't believe this dude just let her say this to her. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if my daughter or not. You need to stand up as a man and say, listen here, you ain't got to raise your voice, but you need to control the conversation. And a lot of men nowadays can't control the conversation because guess what? They ain't their feelings. They argue just like a woman. So when you argue, you ain't having no conversation. That's what it is. You're not having no conversation. You're not speaking. Y'all gonna.
Oh, come on.
Nah, bro.
Y'all think so? Boxer, go on, you take it, bro.
Can I help? Let me say this. Hey, Mr. K Prince, remember when I said it's over? Remember I said it's over?
I remember.
I said that? Remember that? This is one of the reasons, right? I love you, C Prince, but this is one of the reasons, right? Me, like JR said, black men in my generation, we're not going back and forth. I mean, maybe you've seen that before, but we're not going to have these back and forth conversations talking about, well, who's going to do this, do that. Like, if I post something, no offense, Herschel, and somebody's talking back to me saying something crazy, I'm just blocking them. There's not even this. I'm just blocking them. We're not having a conversation. And it's a microcosm between black men and black women, quite frankly, and which jumps into the what we talked about the first video, that this is kind of what we deal with in general, right? But I might say something innocuous, I might something I believe, and then you're generally melanated women breathing down your neck. And the problem is that we have either two-parent households where the black men and black women telling the black girls, you need to not take any crap and be as masculine as you can be. So then we, as young guys, we got to deal with this crap. We got to deal with black women who are like, I'm not going to take it. My daddy told me, well, listen, I'm not your daddy. I'm trying to have sex with you. I'm trying to marry you. I'm not your dad, right? So I need cooperation from you, not you being mean to me. Like it's crazy, bro. Like, so I'm with JR. It's not even like he said, we're not trying to be the black men of yesteryear, right? We're not trying to be we learned the mistakes. We saw what was going on. We're not trying to be stepdaddies. We're not trying to tell our daughters, hey, you need to be independent and all that. I'm not doing all that. I learned my lesson. We learned our lessons. We're either going to have cooperation or we're going to go be passport bros, date outside our race, jack off, and be alone. And so that's what's about to happen. So I'm with JR, bro. I'm sorry, man. Like, and this is what we're dealing with, the blowback of some of the stuff that's happened way before our time.
Think about this. Before I came, when my generation, you had the women. My dad generation before them, they had the women. They had their roles. Boom. But when it came to my generation, when I had my daughter, things was changing. Like you said, the little Kims, the hoes was winning. Let's be truthful. Their role models wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Their role models wasn't there. But also, not just that, in the high school, domestic violence started picking up in our community at the same time. These young women are getting beat, and they're sexually active, most of them before they get to high school. So let's be real about that. So now you got to teach these women how to survive and not become a statistic to black men. Understand it, because it wasn't the white men, it wasn't the Chinese, it was the black men doing this to these young black women. So now guess what? We got to teach these women to survive and get out that environment in a sense, right? So once we teach them how to survive and stuff, now hopefully these young women find the black men that can make they submit to. They feel comfortable being a woman or feminine around. Because guess what? You got to think about it. Even to this day, because we about to do an event for domestic violence. The young black men are beating these women in high school. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think about this. How do we break that trend? Because until we break this trend, you got to teach these daughters how to survive. because they're not just getting it from the black, they get it from the white, they get it from the Chinese, they get it from Mexican, they get it from, because guess what? Black women are the most disrespected women in this country. Hands down. You can say it because think about it. Listen, if you think, and everybody say no, you go into the military, you go into the workforce, you go in any of them. Guess what? They might be the most educated, but being most educated, I mean, don't prevent you from being picked on or discriminated against, or you know what I'm saying? And I'm not taking nothing against whites, Chinese and stuff, but statistically shown, black women got it's the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, but I think Prince. Let me I'm gonna put this comic up and then piggyback off this. Eva Wright said, "Let's see. The thing is to raise her to think, but still be a lady. It's teaching them not to fall for the games, yet still keep their feminine side and critical thinking skills. Being feminine doesn't mean you have to be dumb. Be gentle, be kind, and don't allow foolishness. You are a lady." And I think that's a key. And listen, I appreciate you, you know what I'm saying, putting that information out there, C Prince, and being transparent. I think the fellas have to own their part in this as well. Yeah, I think sometimes, listen, this is not directly at you, C Prince. But I think sometimes in general, some of the fellas out here be out here wilding. Let me keep it a buck. They be out here wilding. And because they're out here wilding, then they will then try to, quote unquote, protect their daughters from dudes like them.
Tell the truth, shading them, right?
I'm just keeping it a bean. I said this not at you, C Prince. I'm
but it could be. I ain't offended. I'm not offended.
No, I'm not coming for you, man. I'm not coming for you. But I've seen this before, and I think guys do this if they'll be honest. Yep, they will raise their daughters in a way to essentially protect themselves from a guy like them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and that becomes an issue because then that young lady, because she can then become uncooperative to men who do come into her presence later on, and they actually have good intentions. Yep, and I think that becomes the issue. So I think the men, let's say once again, we equal opportunists on this platform. We're gonna call it out, the men and the women. So in this particular situation, the men have an accountability that they gotta hold. Because like I said, since some of the fathers out here who were active in their daughters' lives, they do give them that type of training, and that then hinders them as they get into relationships later in life. So we do, we do got to take that L, for those situations that do exist. But now I appreciate you bringing that up because I think that is a valid point. Let me get these comments and I'm going to come to you, Coco. Let's see. Nicole said, I think y'all just need to say women who have these issues are just SOL. It does not sound like there's a solution for them. Nicole, I think there is a solution, but I think the young lady, she has to be open to it. Yep, I feel like these things can be corrected. Because once again, this was a part of her upbringing. But I do think, let's say, if she's open to it, these things can be corrected. Let's see. Shout out to Kenyatta. She said all of this. Yeah, no, I appreciate that, Kenyatta. I said we go on there tonight. This is a great conversation. Let's see. Vince, my guy Vince said, to be 100% honest, these fathers were teaching these ladies not to fall for men like them. Yeah, for sure. That's what I was just saying. Most of us are not married to their mother or showing them how to be good husbands. Now that's facts right there. Let's see. Vince also, he said, I just posted that. Let's see. Nicole said, but who is correcting it if the men is saying they will deal with the problem? Well, I said, that's where that accountability comes in. I said, it's going to fall back on the men. Yet the men got to correct this piece of it. Go ahead, see Prince. And I see Coco's up next.
She got to tone it down sometimes. She does the cooking, she does the cleaning, she goes to work, she does that. But what she don't tolerate, and this is why I be telling, you got to be a man 24/7. You can't have a laugh and have a whining session like a pity party, because she's not having it. Because she said, my dad, I'm not saying it. You can have a pity party, but when you have a constant pity party, like if I didn't ask you how your day was or something like that, and listen to this. If you want, she'll tell you, you need a mama. You don't need a woman. You need somebody gonna cover you because I'm your partner. I'm gonna keep you there. But I'm telling you, sometimes it's sometimes on men because, like I say, the conversation is more feminine than manly, and I hate to say it like that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? If you need a mother figure, my daughter is not the woman for you. I tell you that right now. If you need to be covered, you're on your own.
I got you. Go ahead, Coco. I'm gonna let you rock. Then I'm gonna come
Y'all
to Vince. Go ahead,
made
Coco.
Hey, I gotta jump in when y'all get ready.
All right, we got you up next, Vince.
Y'all made JR come off cam.
I saw that.
This can be my closing because for real, like this really need to be my closing. But I just want to say this, like I think that you guys know how I am about the whole generational conversation, right? Like I think that the show's topic being Black people make too many excuses. Yeah, I think we need to understand when we have a valid, comment, a valid perspective, and when we are making an excuse. And I think that tonight I've heard some valid concerns, some valid comments, some perspective that is valid and true. And listen, you can feel a way, and your feelings are always valid, okay? Valid feelings are valid. However, there is a certain thing as perception and then reality. Okay, so I think that some of the things I've heard tonight have bordered on excuses, right? We understand that there are people that have come in the generations before us that have done things that may have affected us, right? Men and women. There are some of the choices that the women made. Like I can say that some of the fact that women dropped their standards and allowed the Little Kim culture and the Trina culture and the Foxy Brown culture, because women were allowed that and were championing that, now unfortunately it has become the norm in the younger generation, right? The generations that came after us, now it's nothing. They took that and ran with it, right? So we have to just be honest and say we understand that there are decisions and choices and things that the generations before us did that definitely are impacting us to this day. The question that I have is, are you going to allow that to stop you? Because when we start doing that and just saying, well, I can't do anything now, it's what it is, then it becomes an excuse. See, it is a reality that things have changed. The standards have changed. We understand that there are choices that maybe some of the things the men took or didn't do or did do. See, Prince just admitted to, the way he chose to, father his daughter. We understand he's not the only one. Like, we get that, right? Okay, so this is the situation that you have. What are you going to do about that? Right? Because you can't control every other person, but you can dictate yourself, your behavior, your reaction. That's the only thing you actually can do, right? Not every woman is the same. Not every man is the same. Not every woman is walking around with trauma that don't know how to talk to a man and can't speak and isn't ladylike and isn't feminine and don't want to submit. That's not every woman. I understand that you guys are coming up against these women. I know you are. I believe you are. I've seen them myself. But it is not every woman. So do you just accept the defeated mindset and say, well, it's over for me? I'm done. Or do you say, yeah, I'm not accepting this. You know what I'm saying? She ain't it. But I'm going to go over here because maybe she's over here. And that's the mindset I think we need to be in, because we are kind of laying down and accepting things. So when some of the older generations of the OGs say that the men of this generation are soft, I think y'all need to understand what they're saying. It's not always about your sexuality. They're saying y'all struggle to take anything. Y'all struggle. Some of y'all struggle to push back against opposition. Some of y'all give up way too easily. Some of y'all live in a defeated mindset. Some of y'all have accepted that some women will take certain things, so you dumb yourself down. Some of y'all have gotten lazy. This doesn't apply to everybody. But let's just be honest. Some of you guys have. And then you want to look at the women and go, well, you need to come inside first. And it's like, you come inside. Because see, the one you looking for, she already inside. But you out there trying to get the ones that's outside to come back inside. No, you come inside. Because the one you want is inside. See, that's what we're saying. Stop making excuses. Change yourself. Do what you need to do. Don't worry about the ones that don't want to come inside. Because like Bebop said, it's over for them. They done. Wrap that up. But for you, if you want better, you change. And then you come inside. And she's here. That's where you'll find her. Not out there, you arguing back and forth with the ones that ain't never going to get it. They just going to get left. Leave them there then. And stop wasting your time. We have these conversations because we're trying to reach the mindset. It's the mindset that needs reprogramming, right? There are a lot of men that have turned the corner. They're seeing their issues, their things they need to work on, how they need to level up, and they're doing the work. The problem is they still want to argue with the women outside. Stop. If you've done the work, you don't need to. They ain't out there. They ain't out there, big dog. Come inside. They over here. So I think that, that goes for women too. If you've done the work, honestly, truly done the work, don't worry about the other dudes. Don't worry about the ones that's outside. Come inside. You come inside. Stop trying to pull them in. That's the problem I keep having. I feel like this generation, y'all haven't got that yet. Y'all still want to argue. Y'all still want to argue with the ones that ain't going to get it and never had it. And you got to stop doing that. That's when it starts to feel like you're just making excuses because maybe, just maybe, you haven't done what you need to do. You're not ready or prepared to do what you need to do. That's why we say to y'all, you need to get yourself ready because the one that you want, she'll be what you need her to be. But will you be ready for her? And arguing back and forth with these scallywags is not it. That's not the tea. It's not. So I'll end.
That's real right there. That's appreciate that. Vince, go ahead, man. What you want to say, man?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna jump on, but C Prince done triggered me. And I'm glad that he brought that point out because I think we failed a generation of children because we were not married to their mothers. And I don't care what we want to say about us being good fathers, we were not good husbands. So that's why our girls are hard and our boys are soft. It's our fault. So I have a 34-year-old daughter. She will probably not marry. And I have a 30-year-old son. He will probably not marry because he didn't see it. Yes, I probably was a decent father, but he didn't see a husband taking care of their mother, taking care of the household. So we have to take responsibility for that as men. We can sit up here and talk about men soft. We made them soft because we wasn't in the household telling them go out there and rake them leaves. Open the door for your sister. Open the door for your mama every day, not just on Saturday, not just on every other holiday, every single day. And I struggle with that because, as you know, I got married again and I have 2 small children. I've been in their life since day one every day. And I can't understand how I didn't do that with the first ones. It bothers my soul every day because I know what they didn't get because I was not there every day. And yes, man, we can be there every day. If you pick the right one and stick with it, then you'll be there every day. So we have to take some accountability for some of the choices that we made. So I talk to my older kids, but they don't even want to get married. They don't see no value in marriage. Their mom and daddy wasn't married. Grandmama wasn't married on both sides. They just want to go out here and have some babies
and
continue the cycle of struggle and poverty and blaming Donald Trump. So this is what we need to be talking about. We need to be talking about some real change up under our addresses. That's what we need to be boycotting. Out of wedlock pregnancies, divorce. That we need to have a stay on divorce for 90 days. Can't nobody get divorced.
That's real.
Because that's what's going to change. Us sitting up here talking about Donald Trump and Elon Musk, ain't nothing going to change. The rich going to be rich. Period. So we need to figure out how to get rich. And the main thing of that is nuclear family. That's how everybody else do it.
That's real. That's real. So, Vince,
I
let me
land
ask
on
you
that
this.
one.
No, let me ask you this. Don't bail yet. Let me ask you this, man. Do you think it can be corrected? So I know you saying that, you know what I'm saying, you moved about it a little differently with your first two. Do you think it can be changed, or is it just it is what it is at this point?
It's going to take some heavy lifting, some heavy therapy, because it's over for us. Anybody over 50, it's over for us. If we ain't married already, if we ain't got it together, it's over for us. We gotta try to get through to these kids, man. We gotta try to get through to these. Stop having these babies out of wedlock. You setting yourself up for struggle. You just are. And I wish we would stop lying to our kids. Oh, it'll be okay. Your mama did it. I got through it. You don't need no husband. You don't need no wife. You setting yourself up for tragedy. And I tell my son all the time, I said, I had to wait till I got 45 to be happy for real. To really live this American dream. I had to struggle for damn near 30 years paying child support over here, trying to keep y'all this. I couldn't save no money. I couldn't invest. All I can do is tread water. Now I got to try to live a good life. I done spent half of my life struggling. And I made good money. But I was still struggling.
Right.
Didn't have no life insurance. Didn't have no will. Didn't have no investments. If I had died at 40, y'all have to have a GoFundMe for me. And I'm just being honest. Y'all would have to have a GoFundMe. And that's how most of us are. Out here struggling. Check to check. So
that's real.
unless we can get these kids together and try to say, like, look, we got to come together as family. We cannot do it another way. And that's why we still 13% of America. We still at the bottom of wealth because we're at the bottom of family.
Facts. That's real. No, I appreciate that right there, man. I just wanted to ask that question, man, but I appreciate you responding to that. Let me get this comment real quick. Shout out to Tahuti Ra. I think that's Tahuti Ra. Listen, men are taking too much accountability. We have our part, but we have to let the ladies take their accountability. So let me say this, Tahuti Ra. I don't think the men are taking enough accountability. Yeah, I do think that accountability needs to be taken on both sides. Yeah, but I don't think men are taking enough accountability. Even in this conversation that we're having tonight, that we've revealed some situations where men have not taken accountability, but have played, you know what I'm saying, into the situation to where it is causing problems as we go forward with relationships. Yeah, like I said, see, Prince, he's given us a situation to where he may have or could have done some things differently, may have changed the situation. You know what I'm saying? Vince has spoken on some things as well. I said, so at the end of the day, there's things that men and women need to be doing differently. Yeah, like I said, the fellas, like I said, being transparent. Like I said, we have some, you know, we got some examples. And I'm not saying that they wrong, but they've given their positions, right? Then we have situations where, you know what I'm saying, some of these children are coming from single mother households. So we all got to hold ourselves accountable. Yeah, it's on both sides. It's not just on one side. We all got things that we got to do differently to improve our situation going forward. So yeah, everybody, let me sum it up like that. Everybody needs to take accountability for what they're doing out here and how it is going to affect people that come after them. And it's as simple as that. Let's see, Love Coach, she said women need to take, I'm coming to you, C Prince. Women need to take accountability for pushing men out of the home with disrespect and selfishness. That is a fact. That is a fact. Let's see, a lot of women don't want to be a man's support, and men feel this energy and see no reason to stay. And this is partly why I asked the question earlier. You know what I'm saying? Are women comfortable being soft? Yeah, once again, you know what I'm saying, this comment is spot on. Men can feel that energy. They can feel that masculine energy. They can feel that lack of cooperation. They can feel that combative. They can feel that disrespect. Like, we can feel that. It come all up out your skin. We can feel it. And this is a fact. We can feel it. But I think part of the problem is we have a situation where women feel like somehow supporting a man or being soft is weak. And it's not weak. Yep, and I don't know who convinced y'all to believe that. Yep, being a soft, feminine woman is not weak. On the flip side, being a strong, masculine man, it's not toxic. Yeah, but we've pushed these agendas, we've pushed these narratives, and people have played into this stuff, and they believe it now. Yeah, we've made it law. And that's not the case. What we have to understand is a masculine man and a feminine woman, that is perfect balance. Yep, and that one piece is what we're missing right now. We are out of balance. Yeah, we don't know our positions, we don't know our roles, and we all over the place. And that's what we're seeing. Go ahead, C Prince.
You know what? I like that statement right there. That was the best statement of the night. The one you just had up, that they pushing men out the house. You know what? That's women recognize that word, pushing men out the home. If you push them out the home, guess what? Women are responsible for side chicks. In that whole statement right there, where you think he was gonna go to? You know what I'm saying? You push him home, he goes to someone else's home. You are responsible for creating a different genre of women for us to go to. A side chick. Yeah, I'm gonna pay bills out here. I'm gonna get all the sensitivity over here. I appreciate this conversation tonight. Well, I'm learning a whole lot. Hold it. Think about it. If you can recognize that you push him out the house to another woman, but he come back home, why are we mad? Why are we mad?
Man, you know, I see Vince.
Why are we
Vince
mad?
going crazy on the mute over here. Vince ready to say something. Vince, come on back off, man. Go ahead.
I'll hold up the smoke. My thing is, why we sit up here having babies with him then? If she disrespectful, if she put you in the house, then why you in between her legs? The first time she disrespected you, you should have been out the door, but you wanted that snatch. So my thing is, we gotta take some responsibility, see, Prince. We can't put it on these ladies, because I was single for 20-some years, and I knew exactly what it was. So we ain't gonna say she pushing us out. You knew you shouldn't have been over there anyway. They just keep it 100. You shouldn't have been over there anyway.
Hey, listen.
And if you set your house up right, you ain't gotta ask for no disrespect. You gonna get respect if you setting your house up right. If you setting it up, you ain't baby daddy coming in there, living on her house, living with her, having babies and ain't married, but you want to be respected. Not you, C Prince. I'm not talking about you.
I know.
I'm talking about in general. These men want a lot of respect and don't want no responsibility.
But what
and
I'm
saying, see, Prince, let me look. And I understand that. I lived with women.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had my first 2 kids out of wedlock. I did it did at 45. I said, you know what? I want something different. I want a different level of respect.
Also,
so you know what I did? Well, let me finish. So you know what I did? I changed.
Okay, then.
But I'm not gonna sit up here and say that. Well, it was no. I had to get myself right first. Then you're gonna get the respect. Some of us don't set the house up right, and then we want the respect. But it ain't set up right. It's a house. It's a house of cards. And as soon as that little wind blow, all the cards go tumbling down because you ain't built it up right. I told, and I know this might sound crazy, but I told my current, I said, we ain't gonna even live together before we get married. Not even live together. I had bought the house 6 months before we got married. It's what? No, I said no. We're not gonna live in this house until we're married. And God has blessed me so much. My marriage is beautiful. My wife, I can get her up right now and ask her to fix me a hamburger and she'll do it. Happily. Because I set the house up right.
I love that.
So let's tell these men set the house up right, and then we'll see our results.
He's shaking his head. Look at
Let's set the house up right, then let's see the results. Fellas.
They trigger, Vince. They trigger, man.
Vince,
V-Box is saying he don't agree. Hold on.
I don't know. Listen, I understand both of your guys' lived experience, Vince and C Prince. I want to definitely say that up front. But something that was that Tootie Ross stated, and this is the reason why I think he said that men shouldn't be holding the brunt of this issue, is that it's not a 1-to-1 ratio, right? Vince's experience, most black men are not having children. So we need to keep that in his perspective. And actually, I think somebody brought this up, which is actually wrong. Most black men are involved in their kids' life. The CDC has posted this over and over and over and over and over again. Most black men are involved. So we have a small percentage of men creating a lot of this chaos. And I don't know how we can have a actual conversation when one side is actually pretending like, oh, it's a 50-50 issue, right? That on one side we're messed up, but also so are you. And that's not true, right? It's not. And yeah, I agree that men who are in that position should step up and take accountability. But the rest of us, like the 80% of us, we don't have nothing to do with it. So, and that's the issue. This is why we can't even really have these conversations, because again, I'll state the stats again. 54% of black men have no children. 54. 33% of black men are married, either have children or no children. What are we talking about versus the other side? It's like 68, depending, to 70-something% have kids out of wedlock. So we can't, when we have these conversations and, man, we got to do better. Men are doing fine. Men have a B+. I mean, we are doing what we're supposed to do.
No.
As a group?
No.
I like beatboxers.
I agree. I'm saying, as a group,
no.
If most of us are not having children out of wedlock, what do you want us to do?
I agree with that stat, and you brought up that stat, y'all. It's late, so y'all gonna get what y'all get from me. But
we about to shut down.
That particular stat, like, you're right. We understand that it's women having babies with the same subset of men, right? It's not all men that are creating these single parent homes, right? And when Vince gave his stat earlier, he was talking about being in the home every day. He was talking about a family unit. We understand that men can co-parent with their baby mama. We understand they can support the kids. And that is, don't get me wrong, that's great that they're in their children's lives. So I'm not taking anything away from that. But he's talking about the difference between seeing them at certain days and certain times, and the difference of being with them and raising them, right? That's what he's saying. He's saying that he was in the lives of his children, his older children. He was in their lives. And he said, he was a decent dad. But now he's able to be with his younger 2 kids every day and raise them. And there is a difference. And he's just talking about the difference. And I think Once again, y'all, we're not making no excuses in 2025. Y'all get up off them excuses. It's a difference, and it matters. Okay, it matters. It matters. I know we want to say, oh, well, I'm in my children's lives, and that's great. I'm not taking nothing away from you being there for your kids, but it is a difference. It is a difference. And what we're saying is your children are missing that. They are missing that opportunity. It's a difference, guys. So we can't keep talking about the women. Whoever these men are, they are contributing to this. And then these kids grow up, guys. This is how it affects all of us. Then these kids grow up and they enter society, okay? And whatever deficiency or whatever trauma or whatever is there, they are now some of the human beings that we're talking about right now. So I understand that it might not be the majority of men. That doesn't mean that it does not have the impact that it is, that very conversations we're having right now. It has a huge impact. Right? So I understand that we're talking about a subset of men. We're also talking about a subset of women because obviously, not all women are uncooperative. Not all women are angry. Not all women. We know we're not talking about all women. We're not talking about all men, right? But if we're going to have the conversations about not making excuses for behaviors and about doing what we have to do to change the behaviors, then we can't keep doing that. Right? I love stats. I do. But I told y'all I don't live by them. You know why? Because of things like this. I understand that these women are having babies by the same men. I get that. I get it, guys. We got it. However, what we're talking about is the impact that this mindset has on the community at large. And the fact that it has to start with changing our mindset. Right? Men, if you think that men don't have work to do, you're part of the problem. You can feel however you want to feel about that. I don't really care, especially not at 11:26 at night. Okay? Okay? You are most certainly a part of the problem. You are part of the problem. You are a part of the problem. Right? Because men absolutely have work to do. As we all do. Every single human being alive has work to do. So the fact that you're trying to say, well, we think men for the most part, no. It doesn't matter if 10% of the men have it figured out, but the other 80% or 60% have it figured, but the other 40, it doesn't matter. We have work to do because this affects us as a community. Women, we have work to do. Women, we have work to do. Period. And even if it's as simple as you being a woman who doesn't allow trash women around you to continue to behave the way they behave and you not say anything, you're a part of the problem. If you have girlfriends that are in that group of women that are getting pregnant by the same dudes and you're not saying nothing to them, you're a part of the problem.
Thanks.
If you have dudes, you're a guy, and you have dudes that are the guy that keeps impregnating these women over and over again, and you're not saying anything, you're a part of the problem. We do have work to do because even if you're not perpetuating, are you enabling it? So let's talk about that. We're not making any more excuses. Y'all, if y'all want change, then the change has to happen. Every single one of us could be doing something different. We're not making excuses. Y'all have to stop doing that. Like, do better.
That's real. All right, we got to get the heck up out of here, man. We done went way long. Man, pushing 11:30. Coco, you do your closing already? You good?
I'm closed.
All right, cool. Let me go to Herschel. Herschel, you want to say anything before we get out of here, man?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to be swift with this. I mean, it's something I gotta do. I had planned on doing this, but I didn't expect it to be on this long. So I wanted to go around to everybody, just on some positivity. You know what I'm saying? And end off on positivity. Give everybody their flowers and everything. So I just wanted to just go around real quick. So JR wanted to say, I don't know exactly what age you are. I know you're younger than me. but I just want to give you some encouragement, knowing that you were very wise. Very wise for your age, and even we may have some differences on the panel, different here and there. We get your perspective of things, and I'm very it's very I'm encouraged that you are gonna be you're already a stand-up guy. It sounds like you're gonna do well in life. Joe, same for you. You know what I'm saying? You bring a lot of perspectives to the table. I appreciate you for that. Vince, I appreciate you sharing what you just shared. I kind of can relate to that. So it's like at least once every day I think about my son too. Like my son right now, he's 14. He's never had an experience of like mom and dad in a home together since like part of the age of like 4, and I feel guilty every day. I feel like I failed them in that area, so I can relate to that. But what I try to do, I always try to find the positive of the negative things, so for me, like right now, like for example, his mother's birthday just passed. I don't celebrate it and this and that, but he does, and he's had some time with her, and for me to show him how I'm still united in terms of like parenting, as far as mother and father and this and that. They had something they wanted to do, blah blah blah. They wanted to go to some aquarium, this and that. She said how much it was. I zelled her the money and said, y'all go and y'all do that. And I made sure my son was there to witness that and observe that, to see like, look, I still, I still care for your mom. We're still together. In terms of like, we agree on things. We have a unity in terms of when it comes to you as a child, in the family. So that's where I try to, work on areas as far as where I'm lacking. And Vince, I was gonna say about your adult children, man, you did, what you could do. I know you did, and but your adults, I mean, they're adults now. So, now, like you said earlier, you said that was their decision. Like they said, they don't even want to get married. That's their decision now, So if you can try, it's hard because I'm a parent too. So I know I always take accountability all the time with my, regardless. But if you can try to not hold that guilt, because now they're of age to, they're making their own decisions and everything. To try to give yourself some peace with that. See, Prince, I appreciate you as well for sharing what you shared about your daughter too. All of us on this panel know that your intentions were good. You know what I'm saying? So we all know that, and so again, your daughter, is an adult. She's making her own decisions, and this and that, and you, at least you acknowledge where you feel you could have improved in, and that's, to me, that's a positive right there, because there's people that are in denial. They don't have a clue. They don't even know what they've done, or they don't want to own up to it. So I appreciate you for even sharing that to everybody. Beatboxer, appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Sharing, all the stuff you provide here with us, and also, sharing about you being in a, interracial relationship, and being a man, to be able to just like, not care about what people think about that, and saying that, what I'm saying? You props to you for that, what I'm saying? And everything you provide and contribute to this panel. It's a good, you're a good addition, all of y'all. And Coco, as well, you to me, definition of a strong woman. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know Quay is really, really happy, and just I'd be seeing it, like, and you say some things, I already know he's just like, yep, that's mine. So and that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Awesome. And Quay, man, you a facilitator, bro. Like, you doing this thing really well, man. As far as getting us back in line and sharing your perspectives, you're doing a great job in that area. And so I'm finished. One last thing. So I'm finished. Beatboxer, you asked me earlier. You said earlier about me entertaining that post about why did I just block the people and this and that. So yeah, that's what I do, man. But people that are just random on my post, man, I don't even respond to them most of the time. But the people the people that actually said something, all of them, I view them as like sisters. Like I've have a history with them. I grew up with them. I've known them since I was like, in my teens. So that's how I look at them. So I was just like, talk like how I talk to my sister. Anybody else that's just a random person, of course, block, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? But I got love for them like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I wasn't trying to go hard or go in on them. You know what I'm saying? Because they're my sisters and I love them. You know what I'm saying? So that's all. That's all I want to say. Everybody have a good night.
No, I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that close out. Beatbox, it's on you. You want to say anything before we get out of here, man?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Coco, she got me a little bit at the end. But yeah, giving no excuses and trying to figure out solutions. I totally for it. I just want to clarify one thing. When I was saying about the stats. I'm not saying because I don't live by stats or lived experiences either, right? So I don't live that way. But for solutions to really kind of take place, I think there has to be an actual like a reality check as far as what the issues are, and for the men that aren't really having those issues, you kind of have to like convince them to help. And I don't know because there's parts of our community that want it to burn, right? So I'm not that guy. I want to make this very clear. But there's a part of black men who say, "F it, let it burn." So you're going to have to convince. I'm just saying, you have to convince these guys, and the guys haven't done anything really, anything like wrong or not wrong, but haven't contributed to some of the major issues. You got to convince them, hey, it's going to be worth your while to fix it. So I don't know how you can do that, right? So that's kind of where I was coming from. I'm not saying that men don't have work to do because they do, and I grew up in a 2-parent household. It's great. I understand, right? So versus like most of decent amount of my peers didn't, but their dads were still involved. I know that I get the difference, but you're going to have to convince a lot of these guys to say, hey, we got issues in the black community. We got to get it fixed. You got to convince them, and I don't know how that's going to happen because there's too many men out here that say we don't care. I don't care about it. It's not my problem, and if it burns, I don't care. I don't subscribe to that because innocent children are going to suffer. So, yeah, we all should take accountability, but for the sake of the community itself, we just have to have a proper perspective because there's some people out here who just don't care, and men included. So that's where it's kind of coming from.
And that wasn't directed. That wasn't. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to throw all that fire at you.
No. I wasn't offended. I was offended. I wasn't offended.
It wasn't like directed at you. It was more so speaking to the mindset, right? Like this mindset that only the women. Like, I want to just be clear that it's not because I'm just trying to defend women. You guys know, so I come on here and I'll be having smoke for the ladies too. So I don't come on here just trying to defend women. But I just want us to get into the mindset that it's not, please, let's not us against them, because the us against them is just got us at a stalemate. Like, we can't move forward with this us against them. Like, we have to try to find some ways where some common ground somewhere, right? Where, okay, we don't agree here, we can agree here, we can compromise here, because the us against them is just, it's not working. We can't move forward, right? We keep waiting for the women are waiting for the men to do this, and the men are waiting for the women to do this, and so because of that, we can't do anything. We're deadlocked, and the truth of the matter is, we still actually want to be with each other. We still actually do want to be with it together. And I think that's why we're so angry, because we actually really want to be together. Black men and black women actually do really want to be together. And so we're angry at each other instead of trying to find some type of common ground so that we could begin to repair the relationship. We just want to keep going back and forth. Well, the men need to do this first, and then the women need to do that first. Somebody has to do something, or we just stay here. So I agree with you. I think there are some men that are like, forget it. I'm done. I don't really care what happens. There are some women that are like, forget it. I don't care what happens, right? I guess if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But, for those of us who are at least trying to, move forward with whomever is also trying to move forward, then that's what we'll do.
That's real right there. And that's real. All right, C Prince, it's on you, man. What you want to say before we get out of here?
Well, I keep it short and sweet. This is the problem. Women don't understand that they are the prize. Understand that a man ain't a prize unless he got something to give, a job, finances and all that. A woman be dead broke, and a man will still go to her. You know what I'm saying? You are the prize. But since your standards are so low, you're a ghetto booger now. I hate to say it like that, but we're going to say the truth. When you start being a prize and elevating yourself to be prize worthy, men will elevate their standards to meet you. Understand that? It's not that we want you to be the hot girl of the summer. We want you to be a woman. You know what I'm saying? We want you to stand up and compliment me, and I compliment you. But it won't get that way because you have lowered your standards. You know, it's funny to see how many educated women participate in the hot girl summer. They out there twerking and stuff.
Bruh.
They're not carrying themselves in a proper manner. I'm not saying you can dance and do whatever you want, but you educated. You know what I'm saying? You talk about you got pride and respect for yourself, but when I see you in public, you doing the shenanay and all that stuff. But when you go to work, you and me address you as you a CEO or something. You know, like you better than that. But I just remember this little jump off into the club out here drunken in the street and acting like anything. You come to work Friday, like I'm supposed to forget that you that freak. Understand that. How you carry yourself in public is how you're gonna get treated at work. Sometimes, because you might be my boss, so I gotta have to back up off of you. But I'm gonna still hit you with them side words, like you know what you did last night. Understand that. I'm keeping it short.
Oh, come on.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that closeout, Vince. You still there, man? It's on you, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just want to say that it's time to cut out the excuses. I think we all need to start with the people that's up under our roof. Start with our wives, our partners, girlfriends, baby mamas, whoever you got under your roof with your children. Yeah, because it might not be your responsibility, but we are family. It might not be you, it might be your cousin in that situation. Yeah, I mean, you might not think about it, but your children might fall in love, with somebody who didn't come from two parents, who didn't come from a father. And now your child is going to have to deal with that trauma, and you're going to have to deal with that trauma. I know we would like to say, oh, where our kids are growing up in a two-parent household, they're going to find somebody to grow up in a two-parent household. That's not necessarily the case. And the one thing that it burns me up, because I lived a struggle life for so long, and now I'm doing very well for myself. And when I see my neighbors, they have birthday parties and the whole neighborhood be full. I mean, kids, grandparents, aunts, uncles, they buying $500,000 houses with cash. Kids is getting married at 22, 23, taking over businesses and learning business. I told this story the other day. I had some work done on my house. It was about 10 people over here, all of them related. The father, the father-in-law, the uncle, the nephew. They done pulled out of his house with about $80,000 between like 8 people, all with the same last name, whatever it was. But we want to sit up here and bitch and complain about Trump. Trump ain't gonna save us. Kamala wasn't gonna save us. We gotta save ourselves. DEI wasn't gonna save us either. I mean, we sitting up here talking about like we ain't all in the same, but we got to save ourselves, and we don't understand that it's gonna come from family. If you look at the history of wealth building, it's with families. It ain't with baby mamas and baby daddies. It's with husbands and wives and their kids married Jewish lawyers. That's and one thing I don't get, and I'm gonna land on this: the poorest people talking about they don't need to be married,
right?
And the richest people get married at 23 and 24. They don't need to get married.
Right.
No government piece of paper. Paris Hilton got married.
Facts.
Got hotels all over the world, and she got married.
That's real, man. That's real.
I'm gonna land on that one.
No, that's facts, man. That's facts right there. Appreciate that closeout. Joe, it's on you, man. You want to say anything before we get out of here, man?
Yeah, I always learn a lot when Vince, when he speaks from his own experiences and from both sides, mistakes that he's made, lessons that he's learned, and what he's doing right currently successfully. I just sit and listen because actually I had to get in contact with him, stay in contact with him, especially in regards to marriage and just that kind of advice, because he has a successful marriage, but he also knows what it's like to have an unsuccessful marriage, unsuccessful. So it's important that he had both for me to get that wisdom from. So I just thought he dropped a lot of gems. For myself, I'm going to be clipping that just to keep in the back of my mind and go over it and take some notes. And yeah, I appreciate him for that. Secondly, to what Chloe was saying earlier about the dynamic in the home with the fathers, about the beatboxing, pointing out the statistics, CDC, and what she was right about, but yet her adding context to it in terms of the fathers. Yeah, they're with their kids, but are they really with their kids? Are they present consistently in the home? I can say that growing up, actually, when she was speaking about that, I kind of had a flashback, something that I try to put in the back of my head because it's not something I want to bring up, but it came to my head from my childhood, growing up with young Black boys. Obviously, they've been my friends, we're playing, roughhousing, and then I'm growing up with the mindset that everybody has a father in the home all the time, like I did. I genuinely thought that for maybe till I was about maybe 10 years old. You slowly start to have like this conscious awareness, like, wait a second, Johnny, shit, man. My boy AJ, he doesn't have it's just his mom. And he got two sisters and it's just him. And then you see how we start off almost alike, innocent. It seems like everything's going well until he starts to veer off and start to get into drug play, gun play, arson. And yet I'm veering off to the complete opposite direction, which is music, studies, reading, entrepreneurship. We both went into entrepreneurship, but yet he chose drugs. I didn't really choose it. It was my father who chose it. You're going to get your ass and do candy and chips, because that natural instinct for every boy to want to get into making money, that kicks in. Testosterone kicks in. You naturally want to acquire resources. So that's where the father comes in and say, okay, I see it. This is what you're going to do. It's time for you to go from you playing in the streets to you now growing into taking care of yourself and being a man, making money. But it was him channeling that energy in that direction, which was a direct result of him being there. It wasn't him because he was seeing me every other weekend or these visitation rights. That I have friends who had that. Some of them didn't have fathers at all, but those who had visitation, they didn't fare too much better. Maybe a little more so than the ones who didn't have a father at all, but not by much. There was a big difference between those who didn't have a father. They had it the worst. Those who had sometimes here, sometimes their fathers, they had it slightly better. And then there was me. You could see the gap as we got older in age. The paths just differ completely. With my father teaching me how to learn how to type, how to read, how to write, things that the schools didn't teach me. We know how public schools here in Detroit, they don't teach us shit. I thought it was foolish. Like, why are you teaching us things that I would think the school? Nope. My father had books in the library. That's how I learned how to read and write. It was not in public schools, because when I went to public schools and all those kids, those Black boys who didn't have fathers, they only had to rely on the public school system to teach them how to read, just basic arithmetic, reading and writing skills, communication skills. They lacked it. And so they didn't have anyone to teach them. They was touch typing. In the 90s, late 90s, when the computers are starting to come, my dad, hey, I see the future. This is what you're going to do. You'll sit your ass down and learn how to type. I don't want to learn how to type. Well, that's what you're going to do. When you start doing 50 words per minute at 13 years old, you don't know what you're doing. Fast forward, I'm 21 years old. I'm making all kinds of money being a copywriter. And I can only attribute that to 8 years prior because my father was there present the whole time. but also my mother too. So that was the counterbalance. It shouldn't be one or the other. I saw the devastation of just single mothers in the home. Single fathers, I almost never saw that. I can't even recall it. It was mostly single mothers. And I'm talking dozens of my male friends. So, when we quote these stats, I had to think about the context too, just from my own personal life. Like, man, does that really apply? Because I want to believe that that's what it is. Oh yeah, Black men are faring better off. We're better off than Black women. I can't, because I've seen things differently. And even to this day, a lot of them cannot overcome the whatever trauma or the lack of fatherly presence that they didn't have at home from decades prior. And I'm 36 now. This is 20 years. It's almost like too late, too gone. And then they have kids and they repeat the process. You see it. Now I'm seeing, oh damn, whoa, wow. It's like I'm seeing them all over again in you. Nothing has really changed. It's very difficult to break that habit once it's been started, all because the father wasn't present. So that's the second point. And lastly, see, Princely, he's talking about women being the prize. And listen, I'm all for women believing their own value. In fact, I always promote that they know their own value. But at the same time, I would never put myself in the mindset of women are the prize, in the sense that as if me lowering myself in a way or seeing less of myself because I'm chasing after something. Most of the women who had a lot of respect for me, it was because I had the most respect for myself. It's because I saw myself as the prize. I've seen women get angry at men because men put them on a pedestal. And I'm like, I would think, wouldn't you want to be? Because that makes you the prize, right? No. I resent men who do that to me, because I'm just a person. I want to look up to the man. So it's like, wait, so you want the man to be the prize. You want him to know that he's the prize, so you can have someone to follow. So they want a man who's dominant. They want a man who's masculine. And that entails the man knowing that he's for the prize, even if he's a little delusional about it. He might not be. He's got some confidence about himself. That's what they want. Even if they say feminism tells you that they don't, the most feminine women would tell you, no, I don't want you kissing my feet and bowing down to me and try to put a glass slipper on my foot. I want to be the one to look up to you and say, my king. So that way you can look down and say, my queen. But it's not about looking less. It's not about looking down on a woman or her denigrating herself. It's both equally knowing their value in terms of relationship.
That's real.
So yeah. And lastly, I would say the wealth building part. Yeah, it's with the families. It's just all the skills that I have that I learned. Even stock trading, I'm really good at that because my father saw that. He saw the writing on the wall before anyone else did. Again, fathers being in the home. So I guess my paranoia is being in a situation where I get a woman pregnant, or I get into a situation where we're not married, and then something happens, but because I've seen it happen, but I benefited from it being the opposite of that, to the point where I began to feel survivor's guilt in a way, because I'm like, well, why does this happen to me when my 30 other male friends, they don't seem to have the same lucky break that I have? Just the lucky break of having a father there, which it just kills any wealth. It takes it all out the community. And Vince touched on that, how it took him until he was in his almost mid-40s for him to get outside of child support. His kids are grown now. He doesn't have to pay it anymore. Now he's free to. But imagine if the unit was already there in the beginning. The woman was there in the beginning. It was under the marriage. It was under the, I guess, the institution of marriage. And they were building together. Probably could have easily done it by the time he was 30. And not only himself, but his kids could have inherited a lot of that. And they could have capitalized on what he had built at that point. At the age that he's at now, he could have been retired. His kids could have taken. So that's the consequence of it not working out. In Vince's case, he got very lucky, because most men, once they destroyed after that. Most men who are at that age, they come out of church, they're done. They're on the street, they're homeless, they're doing drugs. And
that's
like,
real.
you got to wrap this up. I'm thinking. So, but yeah, that's it, man. That's it. I'm gonna wrap it up.
All right, no, I appreciate it, Joe. JR, it's on you, man. You want to say anything if we get out of here, man? JR, you still there? We lose you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say thank you once again for having me on. Yeah, great conversation, Mr. Hirsch. I want to say thank you, obviously, for your kind words. You know, it turned my heart red. You know, for a moment until I looked at the screen again. I seen Sea Prince. God damn, Sea Prince. How do I go about this? Yeah, I think it's one of those ones where, you know, obviously, it's not about, you know, trying to prove people right or anything like that. It's more about having a conversation and great minds thinking alike. And obviously, Mr. C Prince jumping on. Obviously, first time meeting him. Nice to have you on, joining us, and him obviously sharing that experience. I think it's just one of those experiences where, you know, as black men, we obviously gone through that, right? And we, like we said, we've seen the damages of what's been highlighted of what the black men have done previously and whatnot. And all we're basically trying to say is that we understand what you've gone through, and what we're actually saying is like, hey, we're actually willing to put up with what you've gone through. Forget what we've gone through, right? We're actually willing to accept what you've gone through and for us to deal with it whilst we're in a relationship, but you're not even willing to cooperate. I'll be damned if that's what I got put up with. Thank you, Mr. C Prince. You got a job to do for accountability. Well, thank you. Yeah.
All right, man. Appreciate that closeout, JR. Appreciate that closeout. Man, well, shout out to everybody who joined us tonight, man. Like I said, we got a little while. 11:55 our time, man. This show went super long, but I mean, I think it was a great conversation. We touched a lot of great points, a lot of transparency, you know, a lot of solutions in there, man. So shout out to everybody in the conversation. Shout out to my panel, Coco, Herschel, Beatboxer, Mr. Research, JR, Joe, Vince, C Prince. Shout out to C Prince. C Prince been rolling with us since the beginning. You know, when we first got started with these conversations, C Prince been rocking. So yeah, C Prince, you definitely got to come back, man. Let's see. You one of the originals, man.
I'm good. Look, y'all had a hot topic, and I said, "Oh no."
No, I appreciate it, man. Like I said, you was with us since the beginning, man. So I appreciate you hopping on, man. But man, shout out to everybody in the comments as well. Let's say we appreciate you guys supporting the platform. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Also hit that share. Let's say we want to get these great conversations out to as many of our people as possible, so we can change our direction, change our trajectory as a people. Man, I'm slurring and doing all type of stuff. Well, we got to get up out of here, man. But like I said, once again, this is Kandid Konvos. We do the show every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and Facebook. Let's see, even Rice said y'all ain't gonna let him talk. No, we're gonna let him talk. We're gonna let him talk next Wednesday. But man, we up out of here, man. With that being said, everybody have an awesome night. We're gonna catch you guys next Wednesday.